wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ show to start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast, so don't get her pissed. It's Jason, talks like a spaz, and he loves to talk about Bigfoot and stacks. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ show.
Hello, what's going on? Welcome to the Wednesday KVJ show. Good to see everybody. We all are cultivating our own little looks here today. And Jaybird wins the day again. Look at that.
I'm a peacocker, though.
Yeah, you are.
You know, I'm a thirst trap. I'm all the above.
You are the look at me guy.
I am.
That's you.
We all got our roles.
Yeah.
He looks like he went to Justice. You know what that is?
I don't get that reference.
So if you have little girls, there's this store for girls that are between the ages of like 4 and 11. And everything in this damn store is pink and glittery.
Well, I go to Walmart a lot. I complain about them a lot, but they're right down the street. It's just so convenient for me to pop on in there. They do a good job with their onesies. Their adult onesies, I got to give it to you, Walmart. You nailed it. It's a unicorn.
This is it's a cotton candy unicorn, too. I don't think you should sell that short.
It wasn't in the girls section, but maybe you get mixed up.
It should be.
I know.
If that is anywhere but in little girls, it's a travesty.
Little girl, it's an adult. This is they had him. There was a man on the picture. I thought. I don't know.
Does Walmart have a section that's just called weird?
They kind of do.
Yeah, they do. Okay.
It's the men's section. The men's section is weird, man. That's where I got my jean jacket and jeans from. They have always these weird get-ups at Walmart, and it's pretty affordable.
Yeah, it's in between the guns and bait and tackle. It's called weird.
It really is.
Yeah.
I had to walk my sister's dogs this morning in this thing, so the ankles are just soaked. I know.
Okay.
Nothing worse than a wet onesie.
It's rough.
Okay. Wow. Well, if you want to see Jaybird and his amazing mansie that he's got in here, you can check it out on KVJ TV right now.
Some people don't do weird well.
You do it. It works for you.
Some people get weirded out by me. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah.
I hope it makes you a little weird.
Okay, good. Well, you can get weirded out right now. Just go to YouTube and look for the KVJ show.
It's the KVJ dirt of the day. It's the KVJ dirt of the day. Virginia, take it away, cause you know we need that dirt of the day.
Well, we got us a big announcement from Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton coming up in a second. Before that, if you watch The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills like I do, this is super exciting. Kathy Hilton, mother of Paris Hilton, is officially joining the show. Now, she's signing on to be a quote-unquote friend of the show, which means she'll make regular appearances, but she won't be a full-time cast member just yet. She's also the sister of Kyle, who's on there already. So fascinating. Jon Stewart is going to be headed to Apple TV for a new current affairs show. This puts him back in the anchor's chair, and he'll be doing topics and be at the center of the national conversation. And so far, it's still untitled, but as a part of his whole deal, he'll have a first look at other projects to be developed and produced by Apple and could be on those as well. So it's a big deal for him.
Yeah, it's cool. You know, Dave Letterman has a really good interview show that he does. He just released a second season. And I think it's a really good second act for David Letterman because he's a very amusing guy. He's a great interviewer. And Jon Stewart, I think, has got a lot left in the tank.
Sure.
I keep on going by that David Letterman thing. I almost press play, and for whatever reason, I'm not watching it. You say you watch it, it's good?
I've seen some of them. I'd like to see more, and they've all been really good and interesting. I know, Virginia had played a clip of Kim Kardashian. He's had a lot on there. Jay-Z and his guests are amazing, and all the interviews I've seen with him so far, they've been really good. I'm the same way. There's so much to watch. I haven't gotten to it yet.
There's almost too much content out there.
It really kind of is.
It's a little annoying.
It's overwhelming at times.
And then I just end up watching The Office because I can't deal with all the new choices.
Yeah. Okay.
And finally here, oh my gosh, did you see yesterday? Big announcement. Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton, they did it, Kevin.
I'm sure they did.
Oh, several times.
What is it?
This is getting engaged, taking the next step.
Oh, okay.
I gotta tell you, I'm not impressed with her delivery. I think you blow her out of the water. I would have rather heard you do that story.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
All you need is a quick little dance beat.
I mean, the way she said Instagram.
And that's what's going on in your Dirt of the Day.
It's time for viral audio.
So hide your kids, hide your wife.
Double rainbow all the way across the sky.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Well, the World Series Game 6 was last night, and the Los Angeles Dodgers were just one win away from winning their first World Series since 1988. The big question, could they get it done against the Tampa Bay Rays?
And it's strike three. Dodgers have won it all in 2020.
So there you go. They finally were able to do it. They got a win. They've been so close here in years past, Virginia. They lost to the Astros in 2017, the Red Sox in 2018, and now they finally got their World Series.
And I'm sure you remember the big home run Kirk Gibson hit off Eckersley, Game 1 in '88, right, Virginia?
We hate the Astros.
That's all she knows. Cheating scandal.
Kevin brought up the Astros, and the hair on the back of my neck stood up.
Did you bring up the Astros?
Yeah,
I did briefly, yeah.
Okay.
Briefly. That's all I heard.
All right, I love it.
Hate takes over.
Good. My enemy is your enemy.
Exactly.
Well, there's several interesting things that happened with last night's game to talk about. One is, are the people of Tampa Bay going to be very upset with their manager? I think they should. Kevin Cash, a guy who I saw do this a couple games ago, where he had a pitcher that was doing great, Virginia, and he decided to take him out.
They did the same thing with the Dodgers, too. This is what my rant is about.
And then the next pitcher came in, and they just started having batting practice on this guy and hitting it all over the place.
Oh, boy.
And I saw that a couple games ago, and I said, well, I'm sure Kevin Cash learned his lesson that if you got a guy with a hot hand, you'll keep him in. Well, last night, for whatever reason, he decided to pull the starting pitcher, Blake Snell, after he gave up just one hit in the sixth inning. The Rays were up 1-0 at that point, and they put in Nick Anderson as a relief pitcher, and boom, it's batting practice all over again, and the Rays couldn't keep up. I'm like, why, if you had somebody that was doing great, it's like with anything, you could take anything at all. If somebody's in the zone and doing really well, it's not even a sports thing, it's just a life thing.
Kevin, this is exactly what I was talking about on the podcast yesterday.
Yeah,
it's overcoached. The Dodgers did it too.
Yeah, well, the Rays manager cost themselves a game last night, without a doubt, and unfortunately they lost because of it, and I guess he's just going to continue managing that way, but it's not effective, dude.
Everything Kevin just said, people were saying the same thing about the Dodgers manager as well. That was exactly what I was PO'd about yesterday. Let people work through a jam, especially if they're not struggling really. All right, I'll shut up.
Okay, well, there's a couple of other things to talk about that was interesting from last night's World Series finale game. One, a lot of people were talking about the commissioner and how he was talking here in this clip.
Corey, you thrilled our fans throughout the postseason with a great performance. You led the Dodgers to a World Series victory, and it's my pleasure to recognize your great play with the Willie Mays Most Valuable Player Award presented by Chevrolet.
Okay.
Is he okay medically?
I don't know. There sounds like there's something going on there.
Something is going on there.
Well, is it feedback? 'Cause I know, or delay. I know
maybe. Yeah,
that
sometimes
can
when you
happen.
get on, if you've ever been at a baseball stadium, where we've had to work the microphone and the echo.
It's weird to hear yourself talking a half a second. You hear yourself a half a second ago as you're trying to think in the future. It's weird.
You really almost have to turn your ears off.
Yes.
So you can't hear and not listen to anything that's coming into your ears, and you just have to focus on what's coming out of your mouth.
But being the commish, you would think he's rode this kind of pony before, and you'd make an adjustment. I don't know. I don't want to make fun of him. There's something medically wrong with him.
No, that doesn't sound like, we've heard people get on the microphone, us included, drunk before and try to keep talking like they're not.
Oh, yeah.
That sounded medical.
Somebody, I got in trouble for that before. You drinking too much? Oh, no, it's medical.
Yeah.
Between between us, we probably got in trouble for that 20 times. Does it stop us? No.
I got in trouble. Yeah. We won't tell that story.
And then the other thing that people are talking about is Justin Turner last night. Now, this guy is amazing, Virginia. He stands out because he looks like he is one of the wildlings from Game of Thrones. He's got a big old orange beard and long orange hair. And he has hit a couple of home runs to start off the games. In fact, he's been one of the Dodgers' most valuable players. Last night in the 8th inning, he just disappears. They pull him off the field, and they're like, okay, what's going on? Well, you find out later on that he had failed his coronavirus test and was positive for the coronavirus, so they had to yank him out of the game. But as they're celebrating last night with the World Series trophy, he's back on the field without a mask, having a good old time, taking photos and hugging other players and everything else. And this guy was pulled from the game because he's positive for coronavirus.
The World Series, though.
Did they maybe test him again and then say, oh, wait, that was a false positive?
I would like to find out what is going on here because I'm trying to figure this out. How you
Maybe they did 3 more tests after that and they all came back negative and they're like, okay, it was a false positive.
She has a point because a lot of people don't know the details on stuff. Even with our own show, I was out and about and I was getting crap and I already had my negative test, so you never know.
And you can get false either way, but once you have like a bunch of them, and they all say the same thing, then I think people have more confidence that, okay, maybe I didn't have it.
I don't know how they would get a test to the stadium. He took the test on Monday. They get a test to the stadium in the 8th inning that says you're positive, you have to come off the field. I don't know how they would turn around that quickly to get the next results that would be like, yeah, go on ahead and take off your mask and hug the other players. Because typically what they do is, I know that they're doing this in football. You take the antigen rapid test. If that is positive, then you take the PCR test, which takes a little bit longer to get back, but that confirms the original. So the quick test is done first. And that is kind of my question is, why didn't that happen? Why was he even playing last night? If the test was on Monday and he had blown a positive first, that's what they're doing in football. Is baseball not doing the same process?
You know why he was out there? Because they're trying to win the World Series. He's one of their better players. That's why he was out there. Now, is that right? That's to be discussed, but that's why he was out there.
Yeah, so I don't know. And my question is if he had blown a positive and they were waiting for the results to confirm it, and he was still playing in a World Series game, I imagine there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be upset if there was a guy
that's shady
that had tested positive for coronavirus and is still going to go on the field and play the game anyway. And that's what my question is.
This is what some of the fans are saying that are Dodger fans that are a little bit in the know. It says the story makes no sense. He tests inconclusive after the test comes back in the 2nd inning, but positive in the 7th. I'm willing to bet tomorrow they will announce it was a false positive. They're going to spin it no matter what.
Yeah, I'm just wondering the timing of that. That apparently at the stadium in the 8th inning, your positive coronavirus test shows up. They yank you off the field, and then you're back out celebrating later. So how did that happen? Because the rapid test is the one that you can get back in an hour, but that's the one that they use first. And then they confirm with the PCR, which is the one that takes like a day or so.
Maybe they have some new technology that we don't know about yet.
I don't know that they do. If they do, they need to share it with the world because I don't think anybody else
every
knows
week,
that.
Every week that passes, I think the testing, like there's more technology, and the more VIP or the more money you have, the more access you have to the best in technology.
Yeah, well, the NFL and everybody else who does have the same kind of money and technology, they've been doing it the way that I described. So, you know, if Major League Baseball has come up with a new way that the NFL and big-time college football hasn't figured out yet, that's interesting.
Just reading all the details about I feel like there's missing details of this story. None of this makes sense. And
you want to think they wouldn't send a guy out with corona.
Yeah. I'm just waiting to hear back more of the details because you know how this goes. You read a couple articles and then even the news is wrong about a lot of this crap.
And I'm not saying anything. I'm hoping that there's a great explanation and it'll make perfect sense. All I'm saying is that you explain it right now with what you know, you're like, okay, wait, I don't understand. And that's all of where I am. Be like, okay, wait, explain this. How did this work again? Because I'm confused as to how this timeline worked and what happened. Because as I understand how they're doing it, it doesn't make sense to me right now.
Well, if they won't explain it, there's your explanation. But if they do come out with an explanation that says about some different way they're doing it, I think that's amazing that we're having advancements.
And I'm sure, professional sports, they'll be honest about everything behind the scenes, especially with the World Series title and money on the line.
They would never cheat.
I'm sure we'll get complete transparency and honesty. Okay.
Well, we'll see exactly what happened, but I have a feeling they might be asking some more questions about it today. So I imagine that'll probably be a big discussion, as big as probably the World Series itself.
You know how it's going to go. If he was wrong, here comes the apology tour, and then they'll forget about it.
Well, I'm just wondering, would there be a fine for the Dodgers? They're not going to do anything
There
with
should
the game.
be.
But yeah.
If they sent somebody out there that just had a positive test.
That they knew had coronavirus, but they felt, hey, he's our most valuable player. We need him to win the World Series. And they said, we're going to act like we didn't see that. That would be the interesting part.
I mean, the guy did make World Series history for hitting back-to-back home runs in the first inning.
He was great in the series, Virginia. They really needed him.
And he's got red hair and a red beard.
He stands out, so he's not like a guy that's going to hide.
He's an all-star. The guy, he's definitely beloved in LA.
That electric ginger stands out.
You definitely notice this guy.
He's not going to blend.
So it's not like, I didn't even know he's on the field. You know he's on the field.
You
know that this guy is on the field. So.
Interesting.
Yes, I thought it was interesting as well. So lots to talk about last night's World Series win for the Dodgers.
Look at you listening to the KVJ show on 97.9 WRMF. Lucky.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
What you thinking about today there, Unicorn?
World Record Wednesday. I know I brought it up yesterday as well, but it is on my mind.
Is that today?
That is today.
Oh my gosh.
Today's Wednesday.
The day of greatness.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And
here we go.
I kind of got the memo yesterday. Virginia, you wanted to practice the hot dog one before we do it, so I figured we're not doing that today. So I'm doing the other one, the ping pong ball one, where you blow the ball out of your mouth.
Yeah.
You look like you're ready to blow in that outfit.
You blow the ball and it bounces off the wall. You got to catch it with your mouth and then blow it back. And I have been practicing. I practiced all evening last night. I've been practicing this morning, and I am really not getting that much better. This guy did it, I think, 34 times. He's got so many world records. His last name's Rush, I believe. And he's kind of smug because he has so many records.
Well, you would be too.
I mean, he's got an obscene amount of world records.
What wall are you using?
Probably this wall right here. It's really, really difficult. It's going to be over very, very quickly. I don't have any faith in myself.
Oh,
I need a pep talk.
What a sad unicorn.
Well, I just know.
Aren't unicorns always supposed to be happy and frolicking?
I am happy, but for World Record Wednesday, I know I'm going to let a lot of people down even more than normal.
Get it together, because you're letting unicorns down.
As soon as that segment's over, you're going to see me prancing around. But the key is you have to blow. Or no? Yeah, well, you do have to blow. You got to blow up on an arc.
You can blow up,
the ball's got to come back down on an arc in your mouth.
Yeah.
And then you got to keep blowing back, blowing back, blowing back.
Yeah.
Blow catch, blow catch, blow catch. It's very difficult. This unicorn can't blow very well or catch very well.
Yeah, that might not go well then.
But I think that's what's on the books.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, are you okay? Are you okay with it sucking so hard, or should I? I guess why I'm bringing this up is, do I need to make an adjustment and come up with a different one?
Oh, I got you. Okay. You go with whatever you feel. I mean, you got to dig down deep into your cotton candy unicorn heart to figure out, exactly where the winds are blowing you today.
Yeah.
And if it's not for a ping pong challenge, then I guess the hot dog thing is not an option today.
Well, she didn't want to do it because
okay.
Well, I didn't get to practice. I want to practice.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's why I told you I would cancel out Virginia, because if you wait for that, that's not going to happen.
I know, it's really remember she wanted to do a hot dog sponsor yesterday. And
yeah,
how'd that go? By
I was
the
like,
way?
let's not get all muddied out on that.
I didn't even make any calls because you didn't tell me you wanted to do it. You got all sassy even before you had on a uniform of a unicorn.
When did? Your Honor, produce the sassy audio.
You told me that you didn't want my endorser or a sponsor for the hot dog thing. I was going to make it all complicated, so screw you.
No, that wasn't sassiness. That was
yes, it
no,
was.
that was reality.
You need to go back and listen.
No.
You got very sassy. I was just trying to be nice, so fine.
Okay, I think you need to find a different partner because clearly this is not working out.
I didn't see that partnership going very well. That's why I was like, I would just do your own thing.
You can't. You know what? I'm backing out of this conversation. Virginia, what's on your mind?
Well, I know you believe in ghosts because I do as well. And we've talked about this many times. And I also think when you see an orb in a photograph, it could be a ghost. And last night I did a photo shoot with Rocco in his little Halloween costume. He's gonna be an astronaut for Halloween.
Oh, look how cute that is. Show that on Kvj TV.
He is rocking the astronaut costume that my girlfriend gave us. It's a hand-me-down, and Mama loves a hand-me-down.
Sure, why not?
So Rocco's modeling his astronaut costume last night, and while I'm taking the picture, I see this orb come flying across the screen. And in the moment, I was like, what the heck was that? And I wanted to show it to you today. So there's Rocco.
All right.
And then here comes the orb.
Oh,
you
yeah.
see it?
I do see the orb, yes. Orbs are very prevalent when it comes to the ghost stuff in pictures. You do have to do an investigation, though, because orbs a lot of times are dust bunnies. You have to look at that.
This one moved really fast, and if you zoom in on it, it's got a face. You ready, Kevin?
No, really?
It looks like it's got a face.
Well, I got to see that.
All right. So here it is, Kev.
Mm-hmm. Can you put on the camera, too, so people can see?
I will. I just got to show Kevin, too.
Yeah. I saw the little zip of the orb thing. I don't know that I saw the face. The only face I see is Rocco's.
So when I freeze it on the orb, then you can see there's a face in it.
Or Jaybird said it, and that's at your place that Jaybird says is haunted?
It is haunted.
Well, I was telling Panda, and he thinks it's one of his relatives. He said his grandmother loved Halloween, and he said his grandmother would have loved Rocco. So he thinks it's his grandmother coming to visit Rocco.
It actually doesn't look like a human spirit, to be quite honest with you.
It's got a weird face.
It does. You can have spirits that are not human. That doesn't look human. But what do I know? I'm just a man dressed as a unicorn.
It's true you are.
I mean,
that's true you are.
Look at the face.
Zoom that in and post it on social media. See what people say.
Okay.
It was like, it looked almost like an upside down face to me. I guess everybody's going to see what they're going to see.
I see two eyes on top and a mouth below.
I see an alien-type nose is what I see.
Yeah, from looking at that. I don't know, Virginia.
It definitely gave me chills.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wow, is this Panda's grandma all excited about Rocco and Halloween? I hope it's that. I hope it's not a demon, devil, spirit about to possess us.
Yeah, that would be terrible. It's timely, yes. So if it has to happen, good for it to happen now. But you're right. Ultimately, I don't think a lot of people would like to be possessed.
I got a lot of plans, stuff I'm doing this weekend with the fam. So possession would ruin a lot of that.
You've always had ghost activity since you've moved in there. I know you thought I was messing with you, but every time I've been there, I sense something.
I had it saged by experts, and they did this whole ceremony to make the ghost go away.
So I don't want to fight with you, but that doesn't always work. The saging, it doesn't. It can work, but sometimes it doesn't.
The energy that was there before I had it saged was dark. It was sad, and I could feel it. That energy last night when Rocco had on his costume was not dark. It was actually happy. It gave me like happy goosebumps. Mm-hmm. It was weird. It was different.
Okay. Yeah, maybe you've got spirits again. I mean, I think it's kind of like, cockroaches. I got to keep having Hewlett come out, so you've done it once, but you probably got to do it again.
Well, you're open to it, too, so that's a good thing.
And I don't want to chase off the happy spirits that want to be there for Halloween with Rocco.
That's why people... That's why
I like that.
People always ask me, why do you want all that stuff around? Because there's good spirits, there's bad spirits. I know for a fact that there's been good spirits at my place, and there's been bad bad spirits, just like what we're talking about. And I want the good spirits to stick around.
Okay, how do you get one to stay and the other to leave? Because I've always noticed, like, when you throw a party, you always have that bad spirit that shows up that you just don't want there. And you're like, gosh, how did they get in?
You can communicate. Talk with your spirits
and tell them you're not welcome and get out, and they're like, cool, see you.
You usually should get a professional for that. If you're dealing with a ghost or a spirit that you want out, you need someone like a Vicky to come in there and make sure it's out. But if you got about a month and a half ago, I really believe I had a good spirit at my place and I loved it.
Yeah, okay. And where did the good spirit go?
That's a good question.
Okay. All right.
That's the $1 million question, my friend.
It's moved on, huh?
Where do any of us go?
Don't know if it moved on or not. I just haven't sensed it in a minute.
Okay. Maybe it's just kind of like chilling. What I got on my mind here today, if you've had the coronavirus like I have, here's a great excuse if you're just flubbing and having a bad day. They say the coronavirus could age the brain or cause IQ to drop.
Oh, great.
So, yeah, I saw that. But, I mean, hey, a lot of people look at that and be like, oh, it's depressing news. But to me, it's like a positive. So you guys got to realize if I flub or I say something dumb or it just doesn't work out or my mind's not cranking, it's not my fault. It's COVID, baby. That's what it is. I got that COVID brain fog, and so it's technically a disability that I have now, and I'm going to use it to the fullest.
I wonder if you can cash in on long-term disability insurance with that.
I'm going to look into it. I'm going to see. Yeah, I think that, probably COVID brain means you should probably get 1 day off a week, paid.
Yeah, my doctor says a lot of people are just experiencing all kind of weird COVID-like activity with their body.
Yeah.
Cholesterol is up on a lot of people because they're eating so badly, drinking terribly.
Yeah. And is that from having or just because of the lockdown?
Just because of the lockdown.
Yeah.
And just because some people are really depressed, they're not leaving. Things have been,
But it is fascinating to talk about the long-term side effects of actually having it because nobody knows how jacked up the people that had it are going to be in the future.
Yeah. Well,
and it is a fascinating conversation.
It's a possibility, and I will be using it as an excuse. So I'm going to use it to my advantage. And they say now that the numbers have increased in the latest survey. More than 2/3 of Americans now personally know somebody who's had coronavirus. So there you go. The numbers are increasing.
But you have less of a chance of dying from it. The mortality numbers are going down.
What'd you say, Virginia? My COVID brain. I couldn't lock in.
If you get it and you have to be hospitalized, you have less of a chance of dying from it.
What did you say? I couldn't.
Still don't
my
understand.
COVID brain.
You haven't had COVID.
I
You don't get to use the excuse.
Antibodies.
You're not in the COVID club.
You just have on a really tight unicorn onesie.
Yeah.
It's not that tight. It's actually kind of loose.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Go ahead, touch that material. That's enough.
Uh-huh. Okay, well, there you go. If you've had the COVID, now you got an excuse. If you get a little bit of brain fog, that's what's going on. Coming up here in a couple of minutes, it is Halloween season. And we've talked about this before on the show. If you're buying a house like Jaybird was just in the market for, and somebody has died in that house, do you have to let them know? If it was just a death, I would say no. If it's a murder, do you have to let them know? And if you are in the market for a murder house, and actually, believe it or not, some people are, how much less can you expect to knock off the cost of that house just because somebody was killed in it?
I kind of want that. If it knocks off the price?
Well, you know what? You're in luck because some of the most famous murder houses in America are for sale right now.
Ooh.
Yeah. John Wayne Gacy.
Oh my gosh, that one would be one I would not live in.
You want to know about that one?
I do.
Okay, I'll tell you all about it next. Would you buy a murder house? Apparently, there are people that are specifically looking for murder houses for several different reasons. They say, one, places where brutal crimes have taken place in Murder, Virginia, typically sell for anywhere from 10 to 15% less. So people will be looking for a discount, and they'll use that to say, hey, somebody was murdered in there. You need to knock 15% off of the price of that house.
Now, if it was one or two murders in the house, I'd be able to deal with it. But you bring up John Wayne Gacy, who was a prolific serial killer who had bodies in the crawl space, Virginia.
Yeah.
I mean, so many murders were committed on his property.
He took them to his house?
He would lure them at his house, yeah. He's the one that dressed up like a clown.
I remember that. But how would he get them to his house?
He would sometimes he would promise them money for some odd jobs. He would hire them. He actually would. Some of his murder victims were very close in his circle to where it wasn't hard to figure out that this guy had ties to some of these kids. They're kids, by the way, teenagers.
Yeah. He played the role of Pogo the Clown and would go out and go to local birthdays and charity events.
He was big in the community too. He was a kind of a big shot at points in his life.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
And then he went on to kill at least 33 boys and men.
He is a creepy. There's some creepy stories about him. How he's dressed up as a clown one time and he just goes berserk chasing this one kid around the kitchen.
Oh my!
The kid got away.
Yeah, it's some crazy stuff. So he would kill as this clown, and then he would bury his victims either underneath or around his house.
Now they don't know if he killed all the time as a clown. He was an actual clown. He would do stuff, but whether he killed as a clown, it's been said no. It's been said yes.
They finally arrested him in 1978. He was put to death in 1994, and the home where he was burying the bodies was torn down in 1979. But now, in its place on the same land sits a cheerful 2,500 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house that is currently for sale if you would like to buy it.
Wow.
It's in suburban Norwood Park Township, Illinois. And the asking price is $460,000 for John Wayne Gacy's burial ground, basically.
When they put him to death, you know what his last words were? Kiss my ass.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, defined all the way to the end. Yeah, they say when you're talking about discounts for some murder homes and why some people look for them, they say if it is a horrendous murder, kind of like what's going on with John Wayne Gacy's place, or if it hit the national news, you can ask them to reduce the cost by as much as 50%.
Wow.
So it's a sliding scale. So some people actually look for this because of the deals they can get, while other people are entrepreneurs and they see business opportunities. The home with Lizzie Borden, you've heard that story?
Yeah.
That is now like a murderous bed and breakfast. A guy bought it and said, yeah, this is where the murders took place. Come stay here. It's haunted. And you know, he used that as an opportunity to make some money.
Lizzie Borden had an axe, gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41.
Another house that was greatly reduced in how much you had to pay for it. Remember that Heaven's Gate story that had happened? The mass suicide, that mansion in San Diego?
Totally remember that.
It's a 7-bedroom mansion where 39 Nike-wearing members of the Heaven's Gate cult killed themselves in 1997 trying to reach what they believe was an alien spacecraft.
Was that David Koresh?
No, that was Waco.
Waco.
Mm-hmm. This is something different. So the house itself originally sold for $1.6 million. Somebody who took advantage of the deaths that happened there in 97 bought it in 99 for $668,000.
Wow, that's a big discount.
Huge, like you were talking about, 50% in a lot of them. And one of the reasons for that major price cut was the stench that apparently still lingered in the walls because it was a few days before they got to all those bodies.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but save a good chunk of money. And the guy who bought it said, yeah, you know what? It's not about what happened here. It's about what I'm doing in it now.
Could you stay at a really, really nice house, buy it? I mean, great deal if there was 3 murders in it. Could you do it?
I mean, I guess I could. I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't seek it out. I am not. It was interesting because they did interviews with some of these people that have purchased some of these homes, like the guy that got the Heaven's Gate mansion, and he's thrilled because he saved so much money on it. And they are very defiant, saying, it's not about their energy. This is about the history that I'm writing with my family. I don't care what happened here. It's just walls and whatever. And it doesn't sound like it's affected any of them at all. They're very defiant towards it.
So Heaven's Gate wouldn't freak me out. That doesn't creep me out because that was culty. And the murder stuff, John Wayne Gacy, serial killer, that would be pure evil to stay in.
Yeah.
That would creep me out more.
Mm-hmm. Remember the condo where OJ says he didn't kill his ex-wife?
Yes.
That was Nicole Brown Simpson.
Where she was living.
It was a 4-bedroom condo. She and Ron Goldman were killed there in 1994. Now, that initially sold for only a 15% discount.
Okay.
It went for $595,000 in 1997, and now the price of it has risen to $1.7 million. That's the last time it sold in 2006. So it initially took a hit, but it sounds like it's recovered, and after 20, 30 years, people don't pay as much attention to it.
Virginia was looking at the Charles Manson murder house where they killed, Sharon Tate.
Yeah.
How much is that's on sale?
So they killed Sharon Tate, and then 2 days later, they killed these La Bianca people, a husband and a wife in California. And that house is now seriously for sale. I thought it was so funny you brought that up with the John Wayne Gacy house because it's like on TMZ this morning.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
The La Bianca house is now for sale.
They killed a bunch of people the night they killed Sharon Tate. There was a bunch of people at the house.
Horrifying, man.
Yeah.
Would you buy a house like that looks so good? Let's say it's $100,000. It's so posh, you love it.
Well, somebody did buy this house, the La Bianca house. This guy named Zach was going to buy it and make a TV show, but I guess this Zach guy moved into it, and then he got bad energy and bad vibes and changed his mind about it. He originally wanted to do the project, but out of respect for the La Bianca family is now selling it.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. Some of these people, they want to make something out of it. They're like an entrepreneur, and they're trying to cash in on the fame that the house brings. Now, keep in mind, there's a lot of ghost tours that'll happen. A lot of people want to come by and see the house, so you got to expect that that's going to be it if it was one of those notorious houses. In fact, do you remember the story of Chris Watts in 2018? He's
Yes.
the guy that killed his wife and his two daughters.
That's the story.
Young girls.
That's the documentary I was telling you about that's on Netflix right now.
Yes, and that house is for sale right now. If you want to see the Netflix documentary, it's called American Murder, The Family Next Door, and they had a picture-perfect family. It's a nice home, and he was having an affair. He strangled his wife, killed his two young daughters that were 3 and 4 years old. And they say right now it's not receiving any bids, so apparently the Netflix show isn't helping it out.
That's the documentary I told you about, how she did so much social media. They were able to put all of her social media stuff and help tell the story through the documentary. And for what I understand, he hated doing social media. That was part of what he had said in his confession, that he hated constantly being on and being put on social media, and that's where some of his anger came from.
Really?
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, but I also think he's just not.
Yeah, he sounds like a complete jerk.
He found another woman. He's just
Yeah.
a complete ass.
That house is at a 25% reduction right now, and it's still getting no bidders.
You would like that documentary only because it's different in how they tell the story with all of her social media stuff. I thought it was
Really?
pretty fascinating how they did it.
There's actually one house that is going against the grain on this, because normally murder houses, 10 to 15 usually. If it was an infamous house, as much as 50% off on the murder house. This is one where you're looking at almost double the price because of the infamy of it. It's Jeffrey Dahmer's childhood home.
Okay, his childhood home, not where he committed the murders.
Well, it is the one where he committed his first murder, they say. Stephen Hicks was his very first victim, and this is where Dahmer killed him in Akron, Ohio. They say that the house median price in that area is $132,400 if you want to buy a home in that neighborhood. This house was recently advertised at $295,000, and they are making it a point to say, hey, Jeffrey Dahmer's first murder here.
You're right. It was the first murder. He was going to kill somebody else. He used to hide in the woods with a bat, waiting for joggers to come by. He finally found a victim. That was going to be his first victim. And the day he got the courage to go in the hideout to kill this guy, the guy never ran by. So he ended up killing the other guy instead.
Well, unfortunate for Stephen Hicks. So
Yeah,
so I don't know. Would you pay actually double or more than double for a house?
No.
So I'm looking, because remember the face-eating house in Tequesta?
Yes.
Yeah.
That house sold after the face-eating for $460,000.
That's after.
After.
And it's a nice house, right?
It's a real nice house. I think
I wonder what the median price is, and is it
$660.
So it's down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that one not going for as much.
Yeah, they say that is typical. At least 15%. That'd probably be a 15% discount. And they say if you know that, some people actually seek out these homes because they know that they can get it at a reduced rate.
Well, think about it. Jeffrey Dahmer has had movies made about. I mean, he's well known throughout the world. Not many people know that Tequesta story, even if they've heard of it before. You don't remember, a lot of the details because it wasn't.
I mean, especially imagine you're an out-of-town buyer. You're like, I don't know, I don't care. Don't tell me nothing.
I would want to know if that kind of horrific murder happened. I'd want to know the details.
Well, every time I drive by it, I look at it and I think about it, and I'm like, there's no way I could live there because we know too much.
The crazy thing about Dahmer could have got caught several times, and he just did not get caught because of bad police work, just because people weren't saying anything.
Yeah. Well, it's fascinating stuff, but that's what it is. If you're in the market for a home, there are people that are out there buying murder houses intentionally. Got a couple of which is better questions here for you. What do you think is better, boxers or briefs?
Briefs. Nah, boxers.
I like boxer briefs. Am I being difficult?
No, I think that's good. And I think that's the right answer.
That's what I use.
I like those cotton, but they're like longer. I don't like tighty whities. I like them to have a little bit more length to them.
Man, I used to do tighty whities up until about my mid-20s. What the hell was I thinking?
Everybody did. Them was old man's drawers.
They are old man drawers.
Everybody wore them back in the day.
They're not very flattering.
No.
I feel like.
They look like a diaper.
They do. If they're a little big, they look like you messed yourself.
Okay, which is better, long hair or short hair?
Long hair, don't care.
I'd say short for me.
Okay, I prefer long hair.
And then grow it out.
Are we talking about on a dude or a girl?
To me, I'm thinking about on a woman. I prefer longer hair on a woman.
Okay, if we're talking that, I prefer long hair on a woman.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer long hair on a woman, short hair on a dude.
But I mean, there's some women who can really rock a short haircut.
Sure, I'm not one of them, but
I'd like to see it.
I've done it before. I look terrible.
When did you do
that?
I don't have a pretty enough face. I need hair.
Oh, Mama, come on, you're beautiful.
What is most important to have in a partner? Intelligence or humor? You want to be intelligent or funny?
Humor.
Okay, more than intelligent.
If I'm growing old, I don't need to be smart, but I do need to laugh.
We need to have joy. Joy in life is very important, and when you don't have it, it's not very fun.
Okay. What do you think, marry or a live-in relationship? Which is better?
You know my answer.
Not marry, huh?
Not live it either. Hey, let's get our separate places.
Walls wants to build you a mother-in-law suite in the back.
That would be convenient. I'll even take you can have the whole house. I'll take the mother-in-law suite. I'm cool with that.
Mm-hmm. And finally, which is better, sinful or righteous?
Sinful.
Okay.
Righteous, you think you're right all the time. Sinful, you can at least admit you're wrong and be humble.
Rather laugh with the sinners and cry with the saints?
Yeah, it should be a song.
I know.
Yeah, I'm going sinners too.
Righteous makes me uncomfortable because I know I'm a sinner.
It's hard to be around the righteous when you're a sinner.
It is.
There you go. All right, got some birthdays today for celebrities. Doing a quick little shout out here to Brad Paisley, big old country star, amazing guitar player, by the way, too.
He is.
He's 48 years old today. Julia Roberts turns 53, and Caitlyn Jenner is 71 today. Also, happy 7th birthday going out to my beautiful girl, Aviana, from Mom, Dad, Jonathan, Jackson, Tippy. Also,
Tippy the cat.
And we got a 4th birthday shout out here. She's been listening to the KVJ show since the womb. Happy birthday to Callie, Joe, Renee, Wes, Zane, and Fur.
Oh.
Also, a huge birthday to Denzel. We all love and appreciate you so much. From Ish, Casey, Noah, your goddaughter, Aubrey, and Annalise, and of course, Lincoln. So Casey sent that in.
So sweet.
Got a birthday you want on the KVJ show? You can let us know about it. Mail@kvjshow.com. mail@kvjshow.com. We'd be happy to give you the hook up. Okay, got a makeup or a breakup here. It says he's making me get a physical. Said, I've been dating this amazing guy for over a year, and we've been talking about marriage here recently. And in one of our discussions, he said something that I thought was troubling. He said that before we decide to definitely get married, that he wants to see my credit report and have me get a physical.
He's running the HR department.
It sounds like it.
I mean, I kind of get what he's saying, but he's making it very, sanitized and non-romantic.
Well, he said because of legalities, he believes that marriage is partially a business transaction. He said that before being bound legally, it is only sound to understand what financial challenges that marriage might bring.
I get it. I mean, he's right. If more people did it smarter, I think there would be more transparency, probably less marriage, and less divorce.
So he said he wants me to get a physical to see if I am likely to be prone to a lot of medical bills. And he says that he never comments on my diet because it is my business. But he says if we get married, my personal choices will affect him. I think he was trying to say something about my diet. I do love this guy, and he is very successful in his field. We both want kids, and I want a legitimate family. So I'm in for the marriage, but his request just took me back. But considering his typical cautious nature, maybe I'm overthinking it. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we'd probably have to know him. If this is on brand for him and he lives his life like this, and don't take it personally. That's the one thing you don't want to do, because this might just be him. It's not you. He would have done this to any girl. It's perfectly fine to ask about credit reports, I think, because it becomes the family's debt, whatever debt you have. That's a perfectly fine thing to ask for. When you start asking for someone's physical and medical stuff, if you're insinuating that they are not keeping up with themselves, is that just a medical way to say, I don't like the way you're taking care of your body?
I don't know. I guess he had never said anything before, and maybe, she's fine. There's nothing else with that, but he just doesn't see her eat a lot of vegetables or something like that. And he says, okay, hey, if we're doing marriage and this is for the long haul, will in 10, 20, 30 years you have a lot of medical issues? I don't know what a physical right now would tell you, though.
If he's in the medical field, then I think it's more acceptable than if he's say an accountant.
Yeah.
If he's in medicine, then maybe it's what he has that passion for. It's what he's in every day, and he sees people that don't take care of themselves and the ramifications of that.
It feels odd that somebody would ask you for a credit report and for you to get a physical before you get engaged and consider marriage. But I think that too often in American society, we romanticize marriage, and we've seen all these romantic comedies. In fact, Hugh Grant was coming out this week blasting the concept of it and said, I've started all these rom-coms, and he's going, look, it's not real life. He's like, we create these things, and people just have this whole vision of marriage and happily ever after. And if you are going to do the marriage thing, it is legally binding. And so you have to look at it from a legal perspective. And when we go into this with just romantic notions, too often people are realizing that, wow, I did not
protect myself.
Because it feels cold.
Right.
It feels cold and unromantic because we've been trained in the rom-coms. You wouldn't show a scene really in a rom-com where they're sitting down and they've got an attorney and they're going over the legalities of what it means. If
the prenup.
They get married in the prenups, and people shudder sometimes at these prenuptial agreements saying, well, that's not romantic. But I'm sorry, if you're going to go to the level of marriage, there is a portion of this. This is, in a sense, like a business partnership. You are now tied together financially. If I have to go to a judge to remove the legalities of our union, it's a legal union. And if we're going to go there and be like, okay, here are the standards, I'm going to approach this. And it sounds like he's a business type of dude.
Yes.
He enters into a lot of these types of transactions, and he's very safe in how he does it. He does his research and his homework. And
he wouldn't do this to just you. He would do this to anybody he was going to marry, because it's about him, not you.
Don't take it personally.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. And I think if that's the person that you love and you want to marry, if this is a makeup or breakup, I say you just realize this is the person I'm marrying. This is what they do. But if you pass all the tests and you wind up getting married to this person, know in your life, you've got somebody that is going to check, double check, and do all looking under the hood of anything that you do.
And just know, too, he might be a controlling guy, about like your diet and what you put in your body and all that. And I'm sorry, I don't want to be married to anybody that's going to tell me what I can or can't eat or drink. And that's never going to fly with me. I have a girlfriend right now that's going through it. Her husband wants her, because he called her fat, first of all. Then he said she has to take pictures of everything she eats before she eats it and send it to him so he knows what she's eating during a day, because he can't believe how fat she's getting.
Why is she with this clown?
Because she's an idiot for staying with him. I told her yesterday, I'm like, first of all, tell him to go F himself, and then pack your stuff and leave and stop being so soft.
Do I know this person?
You do.
Can I talk to her so she can leave this clown?
Jay Bird, I've been saying it for weeks. You know how you give advice to people and they don't listen?
Well, do they ask you for advice? Yeah, that's annoying.
Well, I don't know if she's asking for advice, but she's venting about what's going on, and I'm giving advice, because if you vent to me 4 pages in a text, I'm going to tell you what you should be doing.
You know what I've learned, though? Most of the time, people don't want advice. They just want to vent. They just want... I know, because when people will present a problem like you're talking about, if you're telling me that, I'm going to give you my opinion on that. But they don't really want that. They just want a soundboard.
They want to vent. They want to vent for a little while, and then it makes them feel better, and then they go back to the same exact terrible situation.
Because sometimes they'll turn on you when you start giving advice. You're like, look, I'm trying to help you.
Some of the comments coming in, somebody said, seems insane. So if she's got high blood pressure, he won't get engaged until she fixes it. Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know what it means, what he thinks. That the physical part is kind of odd. And the other thing that somebody mentioned, saying, okay, well, if you do it, he needs to do it too.
Sure.
You got to say, look, anything I got to do, you got to do. And if he's not willing to do it, that's when, to me, it'd be like, okay, well, no, we got to establish standards where it's like, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
This guy's a clown. Run, leave him, put some walls up.
You guys are so wrong. I would leave. It's absurd. If he's not going to love her no matter how sick she gets, then screw him.
Yeah, what about in sickness and in health?
I think that's probably part of it, is he wants to find out, okay, before I commit to that, how sick are you?
Yeah,
and
but
somebody said the physical part is probably for life insurance. So
well, then he needs to say that. Because she's thinking it's because he thinks that she puts bad food in her body and she doesn't take care of herself. I mean, you can still eat bad and take a multivitamin and be covered as far as nutritional stuff.
I'm actually more mad about Virginia's friend situation. That fires me up.
We can get her on the air. I think we should get her on the air and yell at her.
Would she like that, though, to be shamed about her terrible relationship?
At this point, she needs to be.
I don't know. Maybe not on the air.
Not shamed, but like, I need to me telling her she needs to leave him is obviously not doing any good.
Are they married or are they just together?
Yeah, no, they're married.
They have kids?
Yeah.
How many kids?
2.
Young?
No.
Yeah.
Mid-range age.
I just don't think you should stay with somebody like that.
Could you ever imagine a husband telling a wife, you've got to take pictures of what you're eating because you're getting fat and I need to see what you're eating every day? I mean, when she texted me that, my head spun around. I was so pissed.
I bet she's not even fat either.
She's not skinny, but she's not fat. She's in the middle. She's normal. And guess what? She ate some food during the quarantine like 90% of us did. Yeah. So let's lay off of people going through a pandemic that turned to food for comfort. Why are we attacking those people?
It's all about approach, too. I mean, if you're your partner...
He has zero approach. And
Do I know this guy? Have I met him?
That's a good question. Yeah, you have met him. Yeah, you did. You met him. But you don't know him. You don't know him like I know him.
Okay. Well, I just want the next time we're in a room together, I just want him to know that I think he's a douche.
You're not going to be in a room with him.
And if you are going to be wearing the cotton candy unicorn outfit?
That is a lovely... If you have to confront a husband, you should wear that outfit to do it.
Look, I'm a douche for my own reasons, but he sounds like a real-life jerk.
I agree. I'm sorry. When you talked about the food thing, it brought that up in my head, Kevin.
Okay.
Very hot.
Well, that should get you hot. I wouldn't like it if someone was doing that to my friends.
Somebody made a comment about the other situation here about the credit report and the physical. Somebody said this guy has it right. This should be the prerequisite for every marriage.
I agree with the credit report. I half agree with the physical.
Yeah, I would need to understand more with that. That I don't fully understand what that is. And people are saying it probably has to do with life insurance. He wants to know what kind of rates he's going to have to pay on that because I guess a lot of times you do have to do a physical for that. So he's just wanting that checking thoroughly under the hood. If they're talking about marriage, he wants to know, he wants full disclosure on everything. He doesn't want any surprise whatsoever after they get married.
But if it's about life insurance, then say it's about life insurance and let them come give He needs to let it fall on that. It's falling on him being a douche right now. So you can clear your name, dude. Mm-hmm. Put it on the life insurance company.
Got another text here. It says, I am a woman in my early 30s and believe in being direct. It saved me lots of problems in life when I am. So before I get exclusive with somebody in a relationship, I need them to answer these 3 questions. 1, are you on any meds? 2, what happens if you are off those meds? And 3, what is your credit score? And you have to prove it.
It's not sexy, that's for sure.
It's not, but you protect yourself. And you know what's really not sexy? Divorce.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. And somebody said maybe this physical has to do with STDs.
Oh, yes. You can do that as well.
Okay.
You can check for specific things.
Okay. Somebody said, I agree with both. When they get married, she will be on his insurance and not just life insurance, but also health insurance. So
it's all about the approach.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, it feels to me like he's probably in the medical field and he's probably a stiff, unemotional guy.
I love how everyone fills the blanks.
Yeah,
in this
I can see a picture of him actually in my head. He's a little shorter. He's got a little bit of a complex about that.
Because I thought he ran pretty successful flower shops across South Florida. That's where I don't know. That's what I.
You look like you run flower shops.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's what I got it confused.
I don't disagree with his approach of looking at marriage like it is partially a business transaction. And we over-romanticize marriage in this country to a detriment to the marriage institution.
That's true.
Where you need to walk into it saying it's part love, it's part business. Don't forget the business part of marriage.
That's very true.
Okay.
Marriage sounds awesome.
Every day we push Jason further and further away.
Well, it's never stories about how we never read emails or talk to people. I love being married. It's always, oh, she's banging my brother and like, he doesn't make any money and he's lying and she's a tramp.
How tall is your wall?
There's so many walls around this heart.
All right, well, coming up here in a couple of minutes, got to figure out World Record Wednesday. Jay Bird had it on his mind earlier. What exactly is the strategy for today? We'll figure out exactly what we're going to do for this on this Wednesday.
You don't sound confident.
I don't, but, you know, that doesn't really, it's not different than last week.
Okay. Confidence, that's not my thing, baby. We got a couple other options, too. So I'll throw a few of those out at Jay Bird. We'll see what we get here with World Record Wednesday coming up.
Now, back to the KVJ show on 97.9 WRMF.
It's a World Record Wednesday where Jay Bird takes a crack at a world record, see just how close he can get and how tough it really is. Now, we got several different options here for possible world record stuff. He's been practicing one that he saw with a dude that sets all these great records, and he had just recently broken the record for bouncing a ping pong ball off a wall from your mouth. You would blow it from your mouth against the wall, back into your mouth, and then back up again. He was able to do that 43 times in 30 seconds.
And this guy's smug, Virginia. He knows he's good. He knows he holds a ton of records.
Yeah.
I legit have been practicing this one.
Yeah.
And I can get my record right now on my own is 4 in a row.
Okay.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
It's very inconsistent. I'll get in a groove and then I won't be able to sniff that for another 30 seconds.
It's probably something he's got to practice for a little while. I'm sure he did.
He did. This guy's a maniac. The guy just, I mean.
That's what he does.
He clearly does not have any time to work because he's doing this.
Now, there are a couple other ones here that you could try. There is the tallest Lego crisscross tower built in 30 seconds with one hand. It's 30 blocks by an Italian in January 2019.
Well, he sounds like a good Italian. I'm not a good Italian. But there was another Lego one, too, that was a teamwork one where there's 2 people.
Okay.
I sent that to you. I don't know if that's on your list or not.
I don't have that one for some reason.
You probably didn't like it then.
I don't know. There is another one here, the longest duration balancing a guitar on your chin.
I mean, I gotta cleft chin. If I can get it in the left cheek where my scar is at, I may have a fighting chance for at least a second and a half.
I can't see your scar.
I'll show it to you during commercial.
You always talk about this scar. I can't see it.
I have a scar on my chin from falling in the bathtub and splitting my chin open.
Well, it doesn't even show now. I think with age, it's faded.
Wow. Yeah, it's all covered up by all those wrinkles now.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the
Can't see the scars anymore. It's just so many wrinkles. And,
I'm just waiting for the insult.
The place where the scar was, it's now baggy, hanging skin. So
yes.
can't see it.
That's the good news. Oh, and how terrible is this? A woman broke the Guinness World Record by completing 716 chest-to-floor burpees in an hour.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, that sounds terrible. 716? She trained for 10 months on that one.
I wonder how many I could do in an hour. All right, let's not find out.
Wow.
She's probably in the most amazing shape.
Yeah, I've been running for a month. I'm ready.
Gosh. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, those are some of the ones that I have. I don't know if there's one that stands out to you that you'd like to take a crack at.
The Lego one.
Yeah, okay.
So what exactly is this?
It's the tallest Lego crisscross tower built in 30 seconds with one hand. It's 30 blocks.
What's a crisscross tower?
I don't know. That's a good question. What exactly constitutes a crisscross tower? I assume it's blocks interlocking.
How tall did they get theirs?
It's just 30 blocks.
I got the 30 blocks.
Is what they have on that. Yeah, and it just says crisscross tower, like that you would know what that is.
What kid did you rob these Legos from?
I bought these.
Oh, you bought these?
Yeah, we bought these for a bit we never did. More money well spent. Kind of like those Christmas bulbs I bought.
You should do that bit running on a treadmill with Legos.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be a funny video.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much it. It just is about getting the
30
blocks.
Legos.
Yeah,
okay.
30 seconds by team. Okay, the one is the tallest Lego crisscross tower built in 30 seconds by a team of two.
That's
with
the
one
one.
hand is 35.
That's the one I'm talking about. A little teamwork together. Which you feeling like you want to chase some greatness?
I mean, I'm not really good at this.
So no.
Who's the best? Who feels like their Lego skills are the best? Denny's! Kevin, how are your Lego skills?
I'm good, but I got to run a few things over here.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of default.
All right, I'll do it.
That sounds like a lot of fun and gusto there. I guess
I'll do it.
Yeah, if we can just do the one where you're not involved, let's get this over with.
You know what's interesting is I'm looking at the two different records here, the tallest Lego tower in 30 seconds. The one that was built by just one guy is 30 blocks. The one that was built by two is 35. Like, what an underachiever the second guy is in that team effort.
That's going to be me.
I mean, you beat the record by 5 and you had 2?
So it's basically just I'm stacking these blindfolded with one hand. That's really all I'm doing.
Yeah, I think crisscross means that you have to have 2 adjoining, would be my thought, is what crisscross is.
Like this?
Yeah, I think it would have to be beside each other, and you probably have to have them where they're interlocking, where one would go over top of the other one.
Crisscross.
Gotcha, like this.
Yep,
that's the move.
That'd be crisscross.
Okay,
yeah.
I can do this.
With one hand?
With one hand, yes. My left hand is very strong.
Well, what's that from?
Don't ask questions you don't want answers to.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right, 30 seconds.
Boom, boom. And am I blindfolded or no?
No.
Okay, I got my eyeballs.
Yeah, I think you added blindfold to it.
This makes it easier.
You are pantsless. That's the...
Take them off.
Yeah.
Take them
All right,
off.
I'm starting to feel good about this. There's a chance going on. I'm liking this.
The other part I noticed here. Okay, this is a real quick one. Record is 30 crisscross Lego blocks, 30 seconds.
How many do you have?
I got plenty.
Okay. All right. With one hand, I would, just for the record, put the other hand behind your back so there's no questions.
I want to go right or left. Yeah.
Are you right-handed?
I'm both. I've been.
You're ambidextrous.
I've been forcing myself to write with my left hand.
Yeah? How does that look?
My signature's coming along. I can write the word llama really well, the word gnat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been.
But you're naturally right-handed?
Yeah.
Except for one thing.
Well, she's right.
Okay.
She's right. Which makes me believe I might be left-handed. Me and my dad are just talking. When I first started playing baseball, I wanted to hit left-handed.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, some people do a little bit both.
And then my coach in Lake Park forced me to be right-handed. He yelled at me, goes, "You're doing it wrong. You're a right-hander." I'm like, okay, don't yell at me.
Wow. Tough, man. Why did you ever like baseball?
That's a good question. So much heartache.
Yeah, I was going to say, all your stories, you had the worst, jerkiest coaches ever, and yet you played it forever.
My high school coach, Joe Russo, I loved. So
Right.
I don't want that getting out there.
Yeah.
I love Joe Russo.
Other than that, they're all jerks. So
Well,
if you ever coach Bird.
No, I had some good coaches.
Okay, here we go. How many can you get? 30 is the record in 30 seconds. Usually about halfway is what we can expect. Virginia, do you think he'll get to 15?
I do. I
Okay.
think he will get to 15. I think he'll come close to 30.
Wow, okay. 15
Wow.
over under. So, Virginia, you are over on that.
She just feels bad because she denied me as being my partner.
I don't feel that bad.
I
I'm
know
going
you don't.
to go over on this as well. I think you're going to have a
Yeah.
knack for Legos.
I see you doing well with this.
Suits you over or under? Suits you going over too?
Show me another man in his 40s who plays with toys more.
I don't play with toys. Although
Dude.
there's nothing wrong with it. I display my toys.
Dude, the dioramas.
Dude, don't call me dude. Those
You
are
put the play in display. Don't, you're not fooling anybody.
that is called toy.
It's more play than display.
I am a toy artist.
And you're in toy denial.
Denny's you above? Oh, he's saying Denny says you're going to tie or beat the record.
Breaking the record.
I love
Denny's is going for a straight out breaking of the record.
Everybody
it.
needs a Denny's in
Do
their
it.
life.
That'd be amazing.
Do it.
One of these days, we're going to mess around and seriously break a world record.
I know we are.
And we got the video and everything to do.
I
to
submitted
prove it.
a one that
Yeah.
it's not on the books to you that I
Yeah.
think that Guinness would be interested in.
It's eating a pizza and running a mile.
It's the fastest mile while eating a pizza. There's nothing on the books for that.
Yeah, you should do
Dude,
that.
one is
Next
calling
week
you.
you should do.
Okay.
That should be next week.
Okay, even though there's not one, we'll set it.
Yeah, I
love
agree.
it. All
Yeah. If check with Guinness, see what you got to do to get it ready.
They're a bunch of yeah. We will.
They're very strict.
They are.
They're very by
but
the rules.
They've lightened up a little bit because of Corona.
Ah.
They're doing video submissions. You can prove it.
Yeah, they got to, right? Pandemic.
Yeah, it's a whole process. Me and Denny's looked into it. We have an account. All that's good to go. You submit it, and then you have to wait back. You have to wait, and they got to do all that. But if they like it, they'll say, send us the video.
Oh, we're like halfway there.
Or they may even send someone out. Either way, Guinness will be on the radar again.
One of these days, you're going to fool around and get one of these things. Okay, the record here is the tallest Lego crisscross tower built in 30 seconds with one hand. 30 blocks set in January of 2019. Okay, we've got one hand behind his back. We've got 30 seconds on the clock. Okay, Jaybird, are you ready for this?
I am ready. Hold
Okay.
on. I'm ready. No, I'm not. All right. I think I'm going to go right hand. All right. Bird, just lock in. Lock in, Bird.
Come on, man. All right, one hand behind your back. Choose one. All right, on your mark. Get set and go. Okay, Bird is doing the crisscross tower. He's got just that. He's got 3 pieces up. He's 4, 5. Okay, there we go. The tower is starting to build itself. Now you kind of wind up with a weird Jenga type of problem here.
Come on, Bird.
How to do this. Yeah, okay. The Lego blocks are being crisscrossed.
When Virginia's quiet,
All right,
I get
you
nervous.
are less than 10 seconds.
I'm trying to count the
You are at
blocks.
5, 4,
Uh-oh.
3, 2, 1.
Damn it!
And done.
What happened at the end?
Oh, 1, 2,
Okay.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13. You got 14.
What's the...
30.
Damn, I
And the
just got-
over-under was 15.
If I won.
Four,
You
That
six,
missed KVJ Respectable.
That last
Yeah.
slip cost me everything.
It did. You are KVJ respectable was 15. You got 14 just under.
That
the
last,
under would have been right today.
The last slip cost me my reputation, Virginia.
Despite your power outfit, you came in here today without the best of confidence.
I did. I didn't know what I was doing, Mama. It all went to crap. One of these days, baby, we're gonna get one.
I'm telling you, one of these days we're going to mess around and get a world record.
I say we.
Yeah.
Blood in, blood out. We go down together.
I like the pizza mile.
I do like that because there's nothing on the books. I think it'll be easy to break, but I'll be the first one to have it.
Yeah.
Let's do this thing.
Okay. All right, coming up here in a couple of minutes, got some South Florida haunts for you today. It is Halloween week coming up on Saturday. You got a big old Halloween with that moon that is going to be going off as well.
Full moon, yes.
Yeah.
You can make some of that moon water.
Or moonshine.
Now we're talking.
Getting all excited. Halloween is coming up on Saturday. And it's going to be a very special Halloween. Not only is it on a Saturday, but for the first time since 1944, a blue moon will be rising over the U.S. That's why Denny's, the restaurant in Miami, is going to be offering the blue bread on their moons over Miami.
Weak!
You're not feeling that.
It's a weak. That's a WAP, weak-ass promotion.
Yeah. WAP.
It's a WAP.
Yeah, they say Halloween only sees a full moon every 19 years. And this blue moon is going to be the second full moon of the month, which only occurs about once every 2.5 years. And the full moon this weekend is called the Hunter's Moon.
Some people believe a full moon brings on more murder.
Murder?
It definitely makes people squirrely. And we've talked to teachers and people that work in the emergency room, and they've gone on record and said, we know when there's a full moon. We can tell by the amount of squirrely people hurting themselves or doing crazy stuff.
I saw this documentary about full moons. They were talking about the city of Detroit. And there's been periods of time during a full moon in Detroit where the murders absolutely rise. They have the stats and everything.
Detroit's just a very murderous city anyway.
Yeah, it is.
But are they more murderous
They
during a full
already
moon?
love murder.
It's hard to tell the difference.
I do think murder when I think Detroit.
I can't wait to murder.
Go to Detroit, I get so much blood on my shoes.
Have you been to Detroit before?
Oh, a lot, yeah.
Is it awful?
No, I like Detroit.
Okay.
I had a good time, but there are parts that I've looked at the crime rates. Somehow I didn't wind up a victim. I don't know how.
You got that victim look, too. You're
I
lucky.
do. Yeah.
The victim look or the murder look?
No, he's got the victim look. Well, I don't know. From day to day, it could change. But Kevin's always busy, so he's not paying attention. Murderers love that.
Okay.
If you're not paying attention sometimes, that's when they sneak up on you and murder you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably the most unwise thing we did was Mexican Queen had us with all of our luggage walk to the casino, which is through the bad part of town. I was talking to Motor City Mongo, lives out there. He's like, going, I don't know how you're not dead.
Wow. You walked with all your belongings through a bad part of town.
Yeah, with children. Yeah.
To go to a casino?
To go to a casino, yeah. That's how the Ralstons roll.
What could go wrong?
That's what we do. Mm-hmm. Well, we got a lot of haunts here in South Florida. True-to-life stories of haunted houses and bars and hotels. And one of them is the Blue Anchor Pub.
I've been on a date there before, Virginia, and the grilled cheese was delicious.
I think we've all been there. Didn't we stop there?
Oh, yeah, I've been there many
Together?
times.
Yeah.
I've been there a lot.
Yeah.
It's got an English vibe to it, and the reason is because the bar itself was founded in Britain in 1864. And they say that is where the murder of Bertha Starkey took place over 100 years ago. Her husband sliced her up in a fit of jealous rage, and they say Bertha's spirit has never left.
Damn.
They say her spirit has even made the trip across the Atlantic. It's stuck to the Blue Anchor Pub. They took it down and they rebuilt it there on Atlantic Avenue, and they say now you can hear Bertha's footsteps across the ceiling at night. And activity seems to peak around the anniversary
Bertha
of
a
her...
horse?
I'm trying to do footsteps for Kev. I'm trying to give him a little extra and paint the picture if you're just listening at home.
Not a good picture of Bertha over there.
My horse steps and human steps are very similar.
Yeah, they say that around the anniversary of her murder that they will often do things there at the bar that you can check out. And I thought this is a fascinating little tidbit if this is true. Somebody in our chat room was saying that I believe it is reported that Jack the Ripper's last victim visited the storefront that is now the Blue Anchor.
Vicky said she did research on it and can't find no evidence of that.
Oh.
Perhaps it's just folklore?
Perhaps. Interesting. Yeah, I'd never heard that before either.
They got good honey mustard there, too. I know I've said that before. I really want to beat that into y'all's heads.
Okay.
Is this thing on? Hello?
How's their fish and chips?
I don't do fish. Fish grosses me out. So.
Should be good. It's a British place, Virginia.
Right? I mean, it's probably legit fish and chips.
Oh, your aqua ass would love it.
I love fish and chips. I'm trying not to eat as much fried food, and the fish and the chips should be golden fried.
Okay, Mom, let's not keep it healthy, because when it's healthy, it's boring.
No, but when it's fat, it's worse.
There's another haunted place to check out in South Florida, the Biltmore Hotel in Coral Gables. Built in 1926 during World War II, it became a hospital for soldiers, so there was a lot of death that went on there.
Oh, I stayed there one time, and I thought it was going to be cool and fancy like the Breakers, because it kind of looks like the Breakers.
Yeah.
But it smells like old people.
Yeah, they haven't done what they do at the Breakers, yeah.
The Breakers runs a tight ship with their filtration and their like cleanliness. And when you go in the Breakers, it does not smell old at all. It smells magnificent.
All the old people smell great at the Breakers.
The Breakers smells fantastic.
Yeah.
It's the hotel at the Biltmore that smells gross. And it was on Panda's clothes for like the whole rest of the day. It's mildew.
Well, what you have to do and what they do at the Breakers is they have like a $10 million CapEx budget, and they will rip everything out, carpets and everything pretty much down to the walls to kind of get that funk smell out. So
that's how you do it.
Yeah, so you've got to go to that level. And a lot of the hotels, I went to one that was in St. Pete, same thing, about the same age as the Breakers, and the elevators were for people that were like 4'2".
I love that. When you get in a tiny old elevator.
Yeah.
I like that. It makes you feel tall.
Yeah. But the only problem is you don't feel secure.
No.
Yeah.
Safety's not what you're going for. It's charm.
Yeah, that 100-year-old rope that they used to use, I think, is still intact.
You hear it grind.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a wire cable, not a rope.
I don't know.
It sounds like it's a rope.
It's a rope.
It wasn't very secure. But yeah, the Biltmore itself, they say, is haunted by many different spirits. They say that it's Fatty Walsh is a mobster who was killed in the hotel during a gambling dispute. They say that Fatty Walsh is still there in the Biltmore Hotel.
Did he like being called Fatty Walsh?
Yeah, maybe that's why he's so pissed and haunting the place.
That a nickname he preferred?
Y'all keep calling him
Calling
fat.
me Fatty.
That's such an old-timey name. That's Fatty.
Yeah, Fatty Walsh, yeah. Yeah, they say guests have reported seeing a woman in white in their rooms, and it is believed that she is the ghost of a woman who jumped out of the tower at the Biltmore Hotel. There she goes, splat. A dancing couple has also been seen in the ballroom waltzing across the floor, and then they suddenly vanish.
See, those kind of ghosts don't scare me. It feels like those are party ghosts, and they're like, you know what? We're just going to take the rest of our afterlife, and we're just going to dance, baby.
I love that.
I like that.
Yeah. Back in 1926, when it was built, the Biltmore was the tallest building in all of Florida. And it also had the biggest pool in the entire world.
They do have a big-ass pool there. It is, like, ridiculously, like, too big.
Enough for spirits to do laps.
Swimming spirits.
Well, if they can
That
dance.
actually would be terrifying to be swimming and you look over, there's a ghost right next to you.
Well, if they can
you want to
dance.
see me break the world record?
Why can't they swim if they're dancing?
The spirit definitely tries to drown you while you're swimming.
Oh, just like Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th.
Terrifying. So there you go. A couple of true haunted stories from right here in South Florida. You can let us know what the situation is, and we'll give you a ruling on it. Send us an email, mail@kvjshow.com, mail at kvjshow.com. From the stack of emails we got this week, am I the jerk for refusing to take down my decorations? This email says, my neighbor approached me in my driveway and said that my Halloween decorations were scaring his two little girls. The girls are 8 and 10, so I'm not sure how little they are. My decorations are just some skeletons and one bloody face scary clown. I told him that it was Halloween and it's America, and so his girls are going to have to learn just how to live with it. He called me an a-hole and said that he was taking it now to the HOA. My wife thought I was a bit harsh and thinks that I should at least take the scary clown down. I told her no. So am I the jerk?
No, you're not the jerk. You have to teach your children that when you step outside of the house, things may not go their way. There may be things that they don't like that they got to kind of deal with. It's a great opportunity to teach your kids about what's real, what's fake. That's what my dad did to me. He taught me about horror movies and
horror movies.
Yes. Get that right.
We did have HBO, so I did learn about horror movies.
Like the best little whorehouse in Texas?
Yes. So you're not the jerk. You should be able to do that for Halloween.
These things.
It's his property.
It's your property.
You can't tell somebody what they can do on their property, and that's the lesson. And I know HOAs will try to step in on some stuff, but they should back off on Halloween decorations.
We've talked about this before. I think they had the same type of
problem.
email scenario last year.
It happens a lot, yeah. And, honestly, I mean, the good news is at least you don't have a neighbor that is like this guy in Texas. I don't know if you saw this. He has put on the front lawn of his house, leading from his front door, he has a dummy with a pulverized head, one garbage bag wrapped dummy, one unlucky dummy whose noggin was nailed by a safe, and then he splashed 20 gallons of fake blood all around his front lawn, front walk, and all that stuff to make it look like a gory murder scene. Said the cops have already shown up twice to the house, getting calls from neighbors thinking that there's been a brutal murder on the front lawn.
Well, those people are stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Well, and the cops aren't saying anything. They're just like, pretty good display, man.
It's Halloween decorations. It's creative. It's fun. It's like a low-budget Halloween Horror Nights. Get over it.
Yeah.
It just, I love children. I think kids are great, but I don't
They're not
like
that great.
I don't like parents that try to, I don't know, safe-proof the world from...
Your kids are going to go out there and see a scary clown one day.
They're going to see a scary...
Prepare them for it.
Yeah.
Be happy. That's all they see.
Yeah. All right. Well, we can tell you apparently this happens every year, but year in and year out, you're not going to be the jerk. You can put up whatever Halloween decorations you want. So the ruling is no for year and forever out. Another email we got here says, am I the jerk for calling out my brother-in-law? This email says, my brother-in-law has been living with his parents for the last year and a half. He promised to pay rent of $250 a month, but only did it once and hasn't paid anything to his parents in an effort to, quote, save money.
On your dime that he's saving. That's adorable.
Well, a few weeks ago, he found out that his dog has cancer, and he's now created a GoFundMe to try to get $4,000 for the dog's treatment. And he sent a message to everybody asking to donate to the GoFundMe. And I told him no, since he should have the money saved up to pay for it because he's not paying the rent. He proceeded to tell me how selfish that myself and my wife were being, and that we should have enough to cover the whole bill for him. Mind you, my brother-in-law is 27 years old and has a full-time job. Am I the jerk?
No, you're not the jerk. You did handle it wrong, though. If you don't want to give to somebody's GoFundMe, you shut your mouth and you don't give to their GoFundMe. That's all you do. As soon as you start telling them why you're not giving to their GoFundMe, you're now making this a fight. And you're obviously somebody who wants drama. Don't get involved. It doesn't have anything to do with you on this level.
Well, the one thing I wonder is if nobody's donated to his GoFundMe, is he coming to them saying, hey, no one's donating to my GoFundMe. Why aren't you giving the money? You have enough that you could cover it all by yourself. Then at that point, how do you get out of that conflict?
If he confronts you, then yes, I would tell him why. But you don't immediately see the GoFundMe and then have a bunch of opinions about why you're not going to donate. You just click off of it.
Sure. And if I guess the scenario is he's come after him, then you can stand your ground and be like, well, dude,
yeah,
here's
you can
why.
say, I'm sorry, I don't feel comfortable. You're not even paying rent to, the people that are letting you live there. Like, get your act together.
Yeah. So just hold your tongue until you're confronted. When you're confronted, then you can let it all out.
Most people won't confront you, though. I mean, if they have any sensibility or any guilt at all about sponging off their parents.
This guy might be lacking sensibility.
Well,
there are some unbelievably ballsy people out there.
They need to kick him out. If he's 27 and it's been going on that long, you are enabling him.
True. Yeah. And what about this one? Am I the jerk for insisting my friend detail my car? A friend of mine asked to borrow my car to get some groceries for his mother. I thought he'd be gone for maybe 90 minutes at best, but he didn't return my car for 3.5 hours. And I'm like, what happened? Well, he's more than happy to let me know that after delivering the groceries, he got a text from this girl who wanted to meet up. So they did, and then they got it on in my car.
What?
My friend thought I'd be happy for him, like high-fiving him, but I'm not thrilled about him having a random in my car for sex. I told him that he owed me a car detailing. He said he doesn't have the time to do it himself and he doesn't have the money to pay for one. I was in the middle of a maintenance project at his mother's house, but I told him, well, okay, if that's the case, then I just won't have the time until my car is cleaned. He said that I'm overreacting and am unfairly taking this out on his older mother who has health issues. Am I a jerk?
Yeah, don't punish his older mother because her son had a sexual romp in the back of your car without asking. That is dirty.
Everyone's kind of a jerk in this scenario.
Yeah.
I feel like, I get you're mad, and you should be, because we got coronavirus going on. You got randoms coming in your car.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's
a lot of liquids.
Yeah. So that you are allowed to be mad at that. But to Virginia's point, now you're punishing the mom.
That's not cool.
And I think there's just some things you can be mad at, but also you need to get over them quickly.
Yeah, why don't you go take your car to get detailed? You fulfill your commitment to his mother, and just know this guy's not your friend.
I wouldn't be thrilled if somebody did that in my car, but I also wouldn't, man, you gotta detail it.
Don't ever loan him your car again.
Yeah.
Lesson learned.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, coming up here in a couple of minutes, inspired by Jaybird's outfit today, where he is a cotton candy unicorn here today. It's a little bit like a furry. And considering when he was a young boy, his dad sat him down, taught him about whores. We've got a fun game called My Little Pony or Adult Film Star.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love it.
I've noticed that the names of My Little Pony characters are oddly similar to some adult porn stars.
And it makes me want to sing the theme song. My Little Pony, so sad and lonely.
That's not the theme song.
Yeah, it's the new one.
It's not.
It's the new one.
It's the
pandemic one, dog.
Yeah.
For the single community.
It's the new goth pony. That's what they have. All right, we'll play a fun little game with the bird next.
My little pony, so sad and lonely.
Until that.
That's all you're going to hear now anytime that song plays. That's my goal.
Mm-hmm.
You already won.
Good.
That is all I hear.
Yes. Win for the unicorn.
Well, if you're not watching KVJ TV, you're missing our cotton candy unicorn that's in here. Jaybird's got an adult onesie on. It's so fluffy. It looks so comfy, too. How nice is that, huh? He kind of looks like a My Little Pony here with just a horn on his head.
I mean, he is just one filthy thought away from being a furry.
Shaking my mane. Yeah. My controversial mane.
It's kind of a fine line between innocence and perversion, Virginia.
I know.
Yeah.
Fine line with a lot of things in life, Kevin.
We just got to get you a headband, I think. Yeah. The fact that it keeps falling in your face.
Well, it's not. I haven't did anything with it today.
Gotcha.
What are we talking about?
I don't know. Virginia's just saying stuff. I'm going along with
his unicorn horn.
Okay. All right, here's what we got for you. Because of Jaybird's outfit, we're going to play My Little Pony or Porn Star.
Okay.
Okay. If you look at some of the names that they gave the My Little Ponies, Virginia, I guess you'll see in the game here, but some of them sound oddly sexual to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it works.
I gotta hear I haven't heard the names in a while.
Okay, maybe this is an easy game for you.
And you just tell us, do they get you going?
Okay,
I will. Weirdo. I'm the weird one. Okay, whatever.
Okay, here we go. First one for your challenge. Is this a My Little Pony or a porn star? Cherry's Jubilee.
That is a My Little Pony.
So sad and lonely. That is correct.
Okay, I know my ponies.
Cherry's Jubilee is a pony. Very nice. What about Lickety Split?
That should not be a pony.
Or should it?
Come here, Lickety Split.
Come here, pony.
Lickety Split seems like a porn.
Seems like a porn. Okay. Lickety Split.
Porn actors.
That is actually a pony.
It's a pony.
Lickety Split. All right, let's try to get our minds out of the gutter.
I can't.
Lickety Split. That could be innocent for a kid. It's not too bad. Lickety Split.
Okay.
No, it's the name of a stripper.
It's a great stripper name. If it's not, it needs to be.
Okay. All right. Next up here, My Little Pony or porn star? Chocolate Stallion.
That is definitely a porn star.
That is porn star, yes.
It doesn't seem right.
Do you know his work?
I do not.
Chocolate Stallion.
It's a good name, though.
It would be a great name for My Little Pony, too.
Well, it says everything you need. It paints a picture. Like, oh, a stallion.
Sure does.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what about the next one here? My Little Pony or porn star, Heartthrob.
That's a My Little Pony.
Heartthrob? Yep. That is a pony.
Yeah, I usually don't like my Little Ponies to have the word throb in there.
Yeah, my throbbing pony.
Yeah, my throbbing pony sounds way dirty.
Never as lonely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Another one here for you. My Little Pony or porn star, Pinkie Pie.
Okay, now we're getting into...
Now you've gotten him aroused.
Now you're just turning me on, big guy.
Yeah.
Pinkie Pie. It sounds delicious.
Pinkie Pie. Is that
There's
a
no-
My Little
That-
Pony
I don't
or a
know.
porn
That
star?
is your new unicorn name, by the
Pinkie
way.
Pie.
Pinkie Pie Pennington.
Pinkie Hand Pie Pennington. I'm going to go
That's your unicorn name?
That's his unicorn name.
Pinkie Hand Pie Pennington. I'm going to
Pinkie
go...
Hand Pie. In fact, your outfit is pink.
Pinkie Hand Pie
Pinkie Hand
Pennington.
Pie.
It's beautiful.
I'm going to go... That is a My Little Pony, but it definitely gets the other ponies talking.
Pinkie Pie is a
Pinkie
pony.
Pie is a real pony.
You are correct.
It's innocent for kids.
Damn, you know your ponies.
I do.
He really does.
I'm Brony.
What about Crystal Knight?
That's a porn star.
Yeah, it is. And one more. How about this for My Little Pony or porn star, Morning Glory?
Oh, boy. This one's going to be hard.
Morning Glory.
Really in Virginia.
Uh-huh.
Say it one more time, Kevin.
Morning Glory. My Little Pony or porn star?
Oh, man. I feel like that's a porn star.
Okay.
I don't know. You know
It
what?
could be a pony,
Yeah,
too.
I'm changing my answer. I'm going full in on pony. I'm going all pony.
You're going all pony? That is a pony.
Yes.
I mean, but the names. Heartthrob, Lickety Split, Pinkie Pie. Daber's got his adult onesie on here today. Pinkie Hand Pie.
The people, you know how we all have haters. You know, we all have our own individual haters.
Yes.
The haters, the ones that really hate me, they hate when I peacock like this, and I love it.
You just
it
egg John.
It makes him.
Yeah.
It makes him so mad. Love it.
Shine on, you diamond.
Oh,
Yeah.
Looking that good is the best revenge.
Give me some. Boom.
Somebody texted and said, OMG, Jaybird is wearing the same outfit my granddaughter has, and she's 15.
Your granddaughter is awesome.
Mm-hmm. And the funny thing, too, I asked you a second ago, what did you see somebody do in a costume? A lot of the text messages we were getting are people seeing Jaybird doing weird things in costumes. Somebody said, I saw him one time on all fours with his cheerleader costume on, like he was doing something weird with Chewy by his house.
Oh, boy.
That is a real story, yes.
Yeah, that was a photo shoot.
That was when I was doing a lot of drinking on the podcast. Gotta bring
Okay.
Yeah, we got to start drinking again
gotta bring
more.
those days back. You're right. Got a clean bill of health. Let's crack them open,
We
Mama.
could use some smiles around here.
I haven't drank really at all in a month, and I can tell.
That's a pretty good one. We have an anonymous police officer on here talking about something interesting that happened in a costume. What went down here with an interesting costume character? Hello, anonymous police officer. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hi. Well, years ago, I was in charge of McGruff the crime dog, so we dressed my partner up to go to an event, and he's head to tails in the McGruff costume.
Okay.
And as we're sitting at a parking lot, we look across the street and see a guy breaking into a van. Guy's climbing in through the window. So we hit the gas, and we run across the street in the car. We pull up. My partner jumps out, full costume, grabs the guy, pulls him out of the window, and cuffs him. And the guy says, all I could see were these hairy arms coming in through their paws. So that was great. He did not see it coming, and it couldn't have been any better timing.
Wow, you got taken down by McGruff the crime
impressive.
dog.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Crime dog.
I didn't realize he actually fought crime.
That's amazing.
This dog is good.
I remember my dad got hired to be McGruff, the crime dog, at the Lake Park Parade, and at the final hour, they took it away from him and gave it to somebody else. It was all political, but he was going to be the crime dog, and we were so excited as kids.
So proud.
So proud. I mean, McGruff, Lake Park Parade, they snatched my dad's dream away from him.
Damn, why? Who'd they give it to?
Some dude, political.
Did you want to bum rush the guy in the suit?
We were just sad. We weren't even mad. We were heartbroken. It was a big deal, man.
Damn.
Somebody texted and said, I saw a guy dressed like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle getting arrested while his girlfriend, who is also a turtle, she was crying and yelling at the cops.
That's awesome.
Somebody else said, I saw a girl one time dressed like sexy candy corn barfing directly into the punch bowl at a party I went to.
Yeah, it's rough when you see an adult throwing up in a costume.
Right into the punch bowl?
Girl.
Oh, man.
Ruin it for everybody.
Somebody said when I turned 21, I was having this huge 80s workout theme party, and I realized we needed more liquor, so I ran off to Publix in my whole outfit with the neon rollers in my hair. And the best part was this comment. Somebody walked by me and said, oh, no, Publix is turning into Walmart now.
Dang.
That's amazing.
And somebody else had an interesting experience at Publix. They said a large man dressed like a hula girl mooned my grandmother out front of a Publix, and he was not wearing panties.
What the hell? Hula girl.
Dang.
Somebody's getting their jollies.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we all know.
That's just twisted fun. Well, there you go. Probably hear more stories like that right now in your Whacked Out News.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the Whacked Out News. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the Whacked Out News. So many people are meth. Ow!
Well, just kind of a note to self. If you've got dumb kids on TikTok, you might want to be aware that they got a thing going on now where they have people super gluing their vampire teeth in their mouth.
I mean, there's kids that also have dumb parents on TikTok.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, just to let you know, don't do that. Not only could you poison yourself, but the potential damage to your teeth is really serious. Super glue is actually no joke. And if you super glue your vampire teeth into your mouth, there's a chance they may not come out without a lot of work.
Super glue does take a minute to get off.
Yeah, they say it could destroy your enamel, damage your gum tissue, and even lose teeth if you do this. So don't do what they do on TikTok, basically. Just a rule of thumb. I was telling you earlier about the Texas resident that went overboard on Halloween with the gore, with the dummies and the 20 gallons of blood. There also was a woman in Texas who is going head-to-head with her homeowners association after complaints were filed over her inappropriate Halloween decorations that show skeletons dancing on poles. Apparently people complain a lot about people's Halloween decorations.
People are a bunch of complaining.
Pole dancing skeletons might be one of the most awesome things ever.
They said they were in a lewd position, but it's a skeleton, right?
How can you be lewd if you're a skeleton? You're just dancing.
Skeleton on all fours, shaking that thing, could be considered lewd in some circles.
He's just crawling.
I'm here you. I'm with you. I say if you're a skeleton, twerk that thing.
Now, if you want to talk about something that is truly horrifying, this is probably the scariest thing that I have heard yet here today. There's a guy in New York City. He was waiting for a bus when he fell into a sinkhole.
Oh my gosh.
That is crazy and that is horrifying. But on top of that, it was filled with rats.
Rats?
Oh my God.
And as he started to yell for help, his mouth started filling up with rats. Oh my gosh.
Hell no.
Oh my gosh. You're in a sinkhole.
Rats!
Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. Who wants to move to New York City?
I feel like there's so many New York City rat stories.
Yeah.
New York seems like a volatile place right now.
That one video I saw where people are looking in this donut shop and there's rats crawling in, eating all these donuts, and it was in New York City. Mm-hmm. They lead the league in rats, I guess.
They got a lot of rats.
You both are New Yorkers.
I've seen rats on the subway. Yeah. I've never fallen in a sinkhole filled with them. That's next level.
That's terrifying.
That is just, what?
Wow. There were some thieves that broke into an escape room in the Netherlands last week, and they were able to crack the giant safe inside.
Wow, how did they do that?
Well, apparently they used some of the clues. They didn't realize that the safe was actually just part of the puzzle, and so all they found inside the safe were riddles.
Did they try to do the riddles at first? Maybe they thought did they get tricked by the riddle?
That was it. They like, hey, let's go crack that safe. They did. They're like, yay, and it's just part of the whole,
Damn, that's cold.
Escape room, yeah.
Tricky.
Yeah. A woman in New Hampshire is facing stalking and drug charges last year, so she impersonated a prosecutor and filed counterfeit documents with the court to have the charges drop. And her plan was actually working until a state official figured it all out.
She almost got away with it?
Almost, and now she got indicted with new charges of falsifying evidence.
Damn.
And I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you and your
legal knowledge.
Yeah.
And your smarts.
And if you thought Play-Doh was just for kids, oh, you're wrong. Play-Doh just announced a brand new product line, Play-Doh for grown-ups. It has scents like Overpriced Latte and Lord of the Lawn.
Ooh.
And if you want a 6-pack of the adult flavors, it's on sale for just $12.
I always get Play-Doh and Silly Putty mixed. Silly Putty's the one where you could spread it out and then put it on a newspaper and then it would be printed on the Silly Putty.
Right. Yeah. If you were like in the 80s.
I loved Silly Putty. I'm going to give me some... What do you mean? No, kids like Silly Putty today, don't they?
There's no newspaper today.
Well, there's magazines. There's other pieces of paper.
It won't work with a magazine.
Well, there's other pieces of paper, Mrs. Argumentative. Yeah, I get it. All right, I'm going to go back to the 80s. Can I go back to the 80s now? Where's Doc Brown at?
All right, who wants some money? Need some Play-Doh? Just need some cash? Got $100 for you to qualify for the $5,000 workday payday coming up on Friday. We give away $5,000 to somebody here in South Florida. All local winners, all day long. A simple 1 in 45 chance of winning. And coming up in just about 4 minutes, you get qualified to pick up $100 in cash next.
The 97.9 WRMF $5,000 Workday Payday. Be caller 9 right now at 877-979-WRMF to win $100 and get qualified for $5,000. Good luck from 97.9 WRMF.
Easy way at money. Dial it up. Get hooked up right now. Well, this should come as a surprise to nobody. Beauty gets you jobs. Wow.
What?
What a shock, huh? What a shock.
It's going to make Twitter angry.
A recent study that they did showed that attractive women received a 54% callback rate, while unattractive women received just a 7% callback rate. So it is a lot easier to get a job if you're really attractive.
Did it say what industry? Is that in every industry across the board?
It was a complex system that I left out all the extraneous details because they were extremely boring, but it was a system of 1,000 applications that they had done with rated looks and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, that's basically how they did it. They shook down a system they felt pretty good about, thought it was effective. The sample size was 1,000. And with that, there was a 54% callback rate of the 1,000. So over 500 who were deemed in the attractive pile got the callback, while only 7% got a callback in the unattractive pile. Yeah, I often wonder, it's got to be one of the best things on planet Earth to be an attractive woman. Because you think about all the things that you can get, and it's not just gainful employment. It just seems to help out. I mean, you can think of how many people that are out there that their whole life, their whole wealth, everything that's been around them is because of how attractive they are. There are people that can clearly state that without their looks, they would not have anything in life that they have.
One of my biggest pet peeves is when a hot person complains about the world judges them for being hot. Oh, boo friggin' who? Oh, the world desires you.
Yeah, I've heard some of those issues saying that I can't be taken seriously. I would like to prove my merit on other grounds, but people just see you as a pretty face.
That's not. That's the right people will see you for what you are. If you treat people the right way, they'll see your inner self as well. If you're hot and you treat people bad, people do see that. It's a turnoff for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. So you have all the perks that can come with it. It can be job opportunities. It can just be you've got somebody that the door just opens for you, whether it be marrying somebody rich or invitations to all these different things. I do notice that attractive women get invited to some of the coolest events. If you ever see skyboxes at Super Bowls.
And from those cool events come cool opportunities in life, in love.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It's a fact. People are charmed by your beauty and they want you around and they want to help you stay around if they have things that you want.
Sure. Maybe one thing that might not be good with it is getting hit on. Does that get annoying?
Well, yeah, if the guy's gross, it definitely is annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, how gross is he?
And so if you're looking for, okay, what is not good about being extremely hot, maybe that would be the one thing that you could argue. Is I get hit on all the time and it's really annoying, especially if you're in a certain profession here in the service industry, capital of America, like we are in South Florida.
Sure.
There's a lot of instances where just pretty much all day long, you know that you're going to get hit on. And for a lot of women, they probably know it's going to be the same gross guy that shows up at their job every single day and is going to say inappropriate things, and they got to sit there and smile.
Well, bottom line is, no, you don't have to sit there and smile. We live in 2020 now. People want to help people who are being victimized and that are a part of a sexist culture. It ain't going to fly today. So if you really are upset about it, speak up because people will have your back now. I believe that.
If you say something, say something.
Well, I mean, we are living in a time where you can't do that stuff anymore. You're going to get in trouble.
It's easier to call out these days.
It is.
It's way easier. It's tricky if you're like a bartender who's trying to make tips.
Well, that's the world.
It sucks.
That's not your employees. That's you're just going out. And yeah, you're going to have to imagine that. You're going to deal with slime buckets in a bar. Of course.
Yeah. So how do you deal with it? What do you do? What is it like on the other side of it? We know that half of the world, yes, it's great because the doors open up, but who knows for a fact that they're going to be getting hit on today? And what do you do about it? And what if it's somebody specific? How do you handle it?
Well, let's talk to our KVJ hottie, Virginia.
Oh, I thought you were about to say Denny's.
No, you're getting hit on.
I am not. I'm past that. I think I'm passing that age point. And I don't really send off a vibe of, hey, come hit on me.
No, you don't.
Not at all.
No, it's a horrifying vibe.
I don't want anybody to get that impression that I'm available, and I make it so clear.
Okay.
I'm just saying the hot people that complain, I get that but everybody on the planet walking has something to complain about.
Yeah, I hear you. I would just like to hear what their story is and how they deal with it. I guess what is the downside of it could be people that you don't want their attention. A lot you do because, hey, this is kind of cool. They're actually, one, maybe they're an awesome person. Two, maybe there's perks that come with it. But there are people out there who are not awesome and they come with no perks and they're going to be all over you. And what do you do in those instances? 877-979-WRMF, 877-979-9763. You can hit us up here on the KVJ Show.
97.9 WRMF and the $5,000 workday payday.
Chance for $100. That's a definite. The chance is actually for $5,000. Beatrice is on here from Jupiter. Hello, Beatrice.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Doing fantastic. I got $100 for you, but the really good news is you might be kicking off your weekend with $5,000.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
It would be so amazing. The cool thing is your odds already are solid. Hopefully you can walk away with $5,000 this weekend, okay?
Yes, please.
Okay. Well, talking about the downsides of beauty, and one might be, okay, getting hit on all the time. How do you deal with it? Somebody had said, yeah, this was my mom in the 90s. She was working at a restaurant, and there would be like this guy that would always come in and hit on you. And, she needed the job. She's like, finally, I just called his bluff. And when he started hitting on her, she knew that he had a wife and kids. He said, okay, let's go right now. Called his bluff, and basically he just got flummoxed and backed down.
Good.
Nice.
Yeah, I guess that's an interesting way to handle it. As far as your beauty getting you in the door, that's great, but you're going to have to then maintain the job. And sometimes that can be the problem, where maybe you are elevated to a level that you're not ready for. And then people are going, oh, they don't know anything because you got the door open because of your beauty. That survey had said that callbacks were at 54% for the attractive group, 7% for the not attractive group. Hopefully they didn't reveal exactly who made what group.
Right. Don't tell the people.
Yeah.
Although, if you're self-aware, you kind of know.
Mm-hmm. Somebody said, what do I do with getting hit on? For starters, I give everybody a chance for a normal conversation.
That's good.
But then once you say something that makes me uncomfortable, my facial expression directly changes and I walk away. Every night for 5 years, though, I've walked to my car with my wine key in my hand as a weapon in case I need it.
Good for you. Wine key is great. This thing that Denny's got me is great.
I love the first part. She says she gives everybody a chance to be cool. And that's what we all should do. Just in life, give everybody a chance to be cool. And when they're not, that's when you make the adjustment.
Amen.
Somebody else texted in and said, yeah, when you're hot and you try to give information to somebody else, and then as soon as you finish talking, they will say, I'm sorry, your eyes are so amazing. I did not hear a word you just said. And then you got to repeat yourself awkwardly.
Yeah, but those people that say that are such dumbasses.
Mm-hmm.
That's not everybody.
Absolutely. There you go. One of the downsides of being hot, catty people hate you for no reason.
Oh, poor baby.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a break. You're not going to see a lot of sympathy on this side of the table. There's people who have it worse than the hot community.
Yes. Well, there are a lot of stigmas that happen in our society, but what are the things that we have that is a stigma that we demonize that we should not anymore?
We were just talking about it not that long ago, the tattoo community.
Yeah.
It's still demonized because we had people calling in and texting in saying, oh, you should not have a job if you've got arm sleeves.
Yeah. I know my wife deals with that kind of stuff. There's many times that, what she does, she has to cover up all the tattoos.
Is it because we live in South Florida on the East Coast and we're kind of more progressive? Because to me, tattoos now? I'm even used to facial tattoos these days. People aren't used to this. It's been going on since the 90s.
In what job did they tell her to cover it up? Was it teaching?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and in her last job, too.
Parents.
She worked,
it's parents.
The parents ruin everything. They ruin baseball camp.
When she worked at the drug abuse place, too, she had to cover up.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
it is weird.
Of their people had tattoos. She said when she'd be there, like, after hours working, a lot of the people that were the people who were the patients were like going, what are you here for?
I'm not a patient. I'm not in rehab. I work for you.
Mm-hmm. Zach in the chat room says, what about men with long hair? My employer always comments I should cut it if I want to be more professional. I think that is such an old school mentality.
Yeah.
It is, but look who runs the establishment still. Old school dudes.
Yeah, but not all
so
of them.
if your old school boss doesn't want to promote you because you have long hair, then grow your long hair, have it. But just know that particular boss is not going to promote you, and he's vocalizing it.
I agree that goes on in the government where everyone's got short hair and everyone's prim and proper. But again, 2020, we're living in times where people grow out their hair. Even the Yankees. Like, we only accept the mustaches on our team. Just a mustache on Yankees? Really?
Yeah.
It's weird.
There's a lot of people that still do that. They still have dress codes and they have criteria that you got to meet physically.
I mean, I get you can't have your booty hanging out at work. I get all that. But, I mean, long hair, your hair?
Yeah.
It's 2020 on.
What if it was booty hair?
Visible?
Yeah.
We got to clean that thing up.
Yeah. That you got to fix. So interesting stuff here. What are the things that society still is demonizing that they need to stop? We got that for you next.
This is the KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.
Talking about those things that society needs to stop demonizing. Some of the big ones, longer hair on guys, tattoos. I know that's still really kind of a big theme for a lot of businesses, where I know my wife is always having to cover up her tattoos, and pretty much every job that she has been a part of, she's got the sleeve thing going on.
She's got even her hand. That's got to be tricky. Does she wear gloves?
She has, she dresses like from the Amish collection, where she has kind of like frills things that come down off of her sleeve even.
A long, flowy sleeve?
Yes. So she'll do that to try to cover up. I'm like, what a pain that is.
As soon as you move your hand, though, can't everybody see?
Yeah, it's
tough.
Pretty
hot in South Florida, too, for the Amish look.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. That's miserable.
As a man who dresses in layers daily, it's rough out there.
I know. Absolutely. She goes through it, though.
Another one I keep seeing, and I've been saying it for a minute, you're going to start seeing people really try to normalize the sex industry. The prostitution, all that kind of stuff. You're people trying to normalize it more, where you're going to start seeing people asking for benefits if they're a sex worker.
Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting to see if we ever get there in our lifetime, because there are a lot of things where you're like, okay, it's consenting adults. If it's regulated, if it's an exchange of money, then to me, I'm like, if you're an adult and you're not hurting anybody else with your actions, you should be able to do what you want to do.
And then on the other end, if you judge the sex industry, the Twitter crowd gets mad at you.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be kind of interesting to see if in our lifetime where we might be set on some of these things. One thing that's changing quickly is marijuana and the stereotypes around it.
It's almost like marijuana's decreased with judgment and cigarettes have gone up.
You're right.
Yeah. Well, and maybe for good reason.
Well, the other thing, too, is a lot of people are, they do the pot, as the kids say, edible style. There's different ways to get to the
You
the
can argue some
mountaintop
health
now.
benefits. It's tough to sit down if we wanted to play a game of Master Debater and be like, okay, cigarettes are good for you, go.
You really
You're
can't.
going to struggle.
Are there no calories?
That's the challenge.
You get to go outside for a smoke break.
That would be a positive, but then all of your coworkers hate you because they complain about not getting a break either.
Then they have to walk through a cloud of smoke to get into work.
I've heard many people go, I'm going to start smoking then. I'm going to get a break too.
It's like, whoa, simmer down.
Another thing along with marijuana that I see really society is taken on a different view of is mental disorders and their treatments, like therapy and medicine. Going to therapy once upon a time was stigmatized, like you're weak, you can't handle your own problems.
You're right.
Yeah, we live in a time now where you can open, at least I feel you can, because I think there's a lot of people that want to help people who are open about their depression, about their anxiety, their OCD. Because again, y'all know my theory. I think we all have mental issues. I really believe that.
And our crazy, too, sometimes is controlled by outside forces that are hurting us. So somebody who's maybe going through coronavirus that normally wouldn't be crazy, coronavirus has made them crazy. But it's okay to talk about how this is making you crazy, because a lot of people are doing it on social media. They're bonding over it.
And even the people who, in quotes, are tough and tell you to get over things and you're a snowflake, believe me, those people have mental issues too.
Yeah.
They're just as oversensitive as the person on their left and their right. You just have to hit that button. Everyone's got that button that causes them to turn into a little bitch.
Well, I would say it's good judgment, because I think a lot of times, a lot of what those problems are is we just need perspective on it. A lot of times you get the wrong perspective or things get twisted in your head. And when you can sit down and say them out loud and give them to somebody that's a good sounding board that can give you better perspective on it, going, okay, I wasn't looking at it that way. Thank you. I see the problem differently now.
Perspective is great when it's not so judgy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can get perspective without being a jerk about it.
And the great thing, too, about therapy now, I see a lot of these telemedicine therapists promoting their services. You don't have to leave your house to get a therapist. You can do it on a Zoom call, and they can help you work through it. You can do it once a month, twice a month, every week. Like, it's really about you. So if you're afraid to go out and be in a therapy environment, you can do it on your computer now.
I know the answer for you, but for you, Kev, have you ever struggled with depression in your lifetime?
No, I'm not. I'm pretty good with it.
You never had any low moments for a minute?
I mean, you have sadness, but I haven't had anything. I would not want to tiptoe into that realm.
Well, I mean, just there's levels of depression. Yeah, I mean,
I've had situational depression where things are happening that I can't control that make me sad, mad, broke, all of the above. And I do let those sink me into a little funk.
Sure.
But, that's just temporary. I don't think I have chemical depression. I think I have situational stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
A couple of the other things that people would like to get on the record here that society needs to stop demonizing. Somebody texted in and said, not wearing makeup. Men have never worn makeup in the history of time, and for some reason, this industry that was created in the 50s guides appropriateness at the workplace to this day. I can't show up to work without makeup and without somebody asking me if I'm tired or going through something.
Men have worn makeup before, so that's.
But no, in whole, men do not wear makeup. I get what she's saying, but this is just a societal norm now that the cosmetics industry figured out how to get us all in. I personally like the way I look better with makeup, so I do it for me, not you. But if you're doing anything for you, not me, that's bad. So if you don't want to wear makeup, frickin' don't wear makeup.
No one's forced.
That's what she said. Yeah,
no one's forcing you to wear makeup.
You're going to be
her
judged.
Job said that. Yeah,
it's
your
a
job says she has to wear it.
It's
her
a societal
job said she has to wear makeup.
Yes, that's what it said in the text.
They're judging her because she's not, because everybody else is, and she looks different when she's not. And
it
all
says
the
I can't show up to
flaws.
work without makeup.
But is that a personal thing? I don't think a job makes you wear makeup.
Well, no, she's saying everybody comments about it.
Yeah, that I understand, but I don't know if a job can make you wear makeup unless you're a makeup artist.
Another one that somebody has here, things that society needs to stop demonizing, people who swear, big deal, we drop F-bombs, there are bigger tragedies in the world.
Amen.
Okay.
I often agree with that.
And somebody also texted in and said, people who like to drink in the morning. Some of us morning people can't handle our liquor. If I get all my responsibilities done, mind your own business about my day drinking.
Nothing is better than a little champagne with your eggs. Can I get an amen?
There you go, huh?
I just, if you can handle your stuff, people should leave you alone.
Talking about things in society that we still demonize, and you're like, why? Things are getting better in some aspects when it comes to mental health issues. Therapy and also marijuana were a few things where they're going, yeah, that is starting to improve. Not all the way there yet, but it is getting there with a lot of people. Somebody texted in about makeup and having to still kind of wear makeup, something that was popularized in the 50s. I feel like it is not fair. Eddie texted us and he said, yeah, I worked in a corporate office in LA for years and the ladies had to wear makeup and dress formal, but us guys could wear jeans and T-shirts. It was 110% unfair, he had said. And somebody said, yeah, when it comes to wearing makeup, there are a few places that do make you wear it, like Hooters. You have to wear makeup. And somebody said a job can make you wear makeup, especially if you are the first person a customer sees or the front of house in a restaurant, like a hostess. They will make you wear makeup.
Yeah, that goes on with the job description. When you're getting the job, they're going to tell you that. If all of a sudden you're working at an office and the boss calls you and it says, you got to wear makeup today, I don't think you're legally allowed to do that.
A couple other things that people said that we still demonize. People who are overweight. Some people do have legit medical conditions like thyroid, diabetes, and hormonal issues. And yeah, there's just some circles. And I don't know with some of these things if you'll ever completely stamp it out of society. I think that there's always going to be that, little bit of people, kind of like we're dealing with racism, things like that. You're like, gosh, I wish it didn't exist. But it just feels like there's always going to, unfortunately, be some thread of the population somewhere that is going to hold these stigmas from generation to generation.
Yeah, you're right, because it's passed down.
Yeah.
But the good news is I feel like we are shedding a lot of it. The majority.
Oh, definitely.
Those people now are in the minority with that old school mentality.
Mm-hmm. And a psych student letting us know what is depression here. Everybody gets depressed. Not everyone suffers from depression.
Okay, that makes sense.
I feel like everyone does get depression, so that they have, they can relate to other people.
Yeah, sounds great. Well, you guys make us smarter. Thank you very much for all of your comments.
This is the KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.
Who wants a free taco? Anybody up for a free taco?
Ooh, free tacos. Yeah, sign me up.
I thought you would be into free tacos. Today is your day. Everybody in America, you get a taco, you get a taco, you get a taco. Taco Bell is doing that Steal a Base, Steal a Taco giveaway, and today's the day where you can roll into a Taco Bell, and just because they had a stolen base in the World Series that just wrapped up last night, you get yourself a delicious, meaty, cheesy Doritos Locos taco.
Ooh.
All you gotta do is swing into a local Taco Bell and just nicely ask, and they'll deliver. You get one Doritos Loco taco per person. And unlike previous years, you don't have like a certain window, like 1 to 1:15 p.m.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And you don't need to buy anything either. You just go in and get it.
I'm sure they love that. I'm here to get my free taco. Can you hurry up?
You should buy something. I mean, if you're going and they're giving you a free taco, buy one of them Baja Blasts.
You don't
or
like
something.
it, don't have the promotion. No, I'm here for free tacos.
Boy, that Baja Blast is good, but man, it'll make you climb a wall after your 18th sip.
It's good, huh?
Mags loves them. All her friends. We love to do.
It's designed for kids to love it.
And they do.
Now, it's kind of funny to see last night the World Series. There's a lot of things to talk about. One, LA's winning all the championships. They got it in the NBA. They got it in Major League Baseball. Tampa's going to have to just live with only their Stanley Cup this year. So the Rays lost last night. The Dodgers got their first World Series win since 1988. But really, the big talk that is kind of overshadowing the whole thing is the fact that one of the Dodgers players that knowingly tested positive for coronavirus was on the field celebrating last night without a mask. And he was sitting right next to the team's manager that just recovered from Hodgkin's 10 years ago.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah.
Aren't you not supposed to do that?
They got caught up in it. World Series, haven't won it since '88. The Kirk Gibson home run. A lot going on in their heads, Virginia.
Yeah.
All right.
And I think they pretty much just settled on the fact that, yeah, all right, he knew he had coronavirus, but he put in the work. He had been a key part of us winning this. And just because he has a positive coronavirus diagnosis, we're not going to keep him away from the celebration out here with the rest of the guys.
His team's going to defend him. Most of the Dodger fans are going to defend him, and it'll be a non-story in a month. Yeah. He'll be fine.
Probably going to be fine.
Only way this is a non-story, unless he gets everybody sick. If the entire Dodgers become sick and then fans become sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if nobody gets sick, I guess you can brush it under the rug. But if anybody gets sick, including the guy recovering from Hodgkin's, we've got problems.
I feel like there's missing details of this story. It seems incomplete to me. I want to hear all the details.
Very incomplete.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see what they wind up saying. I think part of it, too, is that, hey, the season's over, and so if we take a little COVID home with us, so what if that was a big super spreader event?
No one on the field other than the losers are going to be mad about this. The Dodgers aren't going to care.
What if people from the losing team got the COVID from him?
Then you'll see, oh my gosh, the Dodgers are the worst.
Yeah. What does this magical ginger play? What's his position?
He plays third base, and the story behind it was he had taken a saliva test, and nobody had miraculously, since they've been doing the World Series, had tested positive for coronavirus. His came back inconclusive. And apparently they were like, we need to retest and find out because he's playing a game now. And so as the game is going on, they're frantically trying to see if this guy's got coronavirus. It came back that it was more conclusively positive, and then they yanked him after the 8th inning. And so they're like, you got to isolate. You have coronavirus.
But you know what? The fact that it was inconclusive, that gets him out of almost anything, because they're going to say, we thought this was a negative.
False positive.
This was not in concrete. This is not in stone. He did not test positive for COVID.
No, I think he did. I think he had started inconclusive, and they didn't yank him when it was inconclusive. And they're frantically saying, we need a conclusive to be able to yank him because this is an important game.
Yeah, but it started off inconclusive, and then they yanked him.
Yes, and then he was conclusively positive when he went back out, took his mask off, and took the photos. And
he took his mask off?
Oh, yeah, he was without a mask.
Oh, there's pictures and everything. There's more to this story.
I mean, how stupid can you be?
That's what I'm saying. There's got to be more to this.
He took his mask off and was celebrating?
Yes.
They'll be answering it. You'll have answers today.
I hated baseball before. Now I really hate baseball. What the hell are you doing?
Baseball just texted in and said they hate the dirt of the day. Wow. That was
All right, baseball, meet me in the parking lot. We're going to fight it out.
Hey, but the good news, free tacos, right?
Thank you, Kevin.
Hey, there you go. Let's bring it back in. Free tacos, everybody. The After the Show podcast is on the way on Facebook and YouTube. You can watch it live here in just about 5 minutes and listen to it live on the 97.9 WRMF app. Plus, you also want to stay tuned too, because top every hour, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays, we're doing the $5,000 workday payday. You listen for your cue to call. Call number 9, you get $100 and you qualify for $5,000 that we give away every single Friday. That's going to be coming up here in a few as well. All right, Bird, if you would, wrap us up with your thought for the day.
First of all, I want to just say happy National Chocolate Day to everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you to the chat room for reminding me of that.
How are you celebrating?
I don't know, Virginia. That's a good question. But I do have a great My Little Pony, an MLP quote for you guys. It's about friendship.
Nice.
I love it.
It's not that good, but it's the whole story behind it.
Give it to us, Pinky Hand Pie Pennington.
Friends show their love in times of trouble, not happiness.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's all about the pony.
Yeah, okay. It's all about the pie. Always is.
The best variety from the 2000s, 10s, and today, and you're home for the KVJ Show. 97.9 WRMF.